Hello and welcome to the final week of the British Esports Association Championships. Today we have two fantastic games for Overwatch with you. But before that, just a couple of notices. This week is the last week for all games to be played and recorded. So if you are part of a team, part of a college, and you have some games outstanding, make sure you get those played by this Friday at midnight will be the absolute deadline. If you don't record them beyond that, they won't count, so please make sure you get them done. Speaking of deadlines, we also have the logo competition ongoing. So if your team, part of the championships, want a custom-made logo for your team, then make sure you check the link. You can check the commands in the Twitch chat. And also we have the spring season, which is opening up. So if you either have a current team and you want to add to your roster and add a second team, or you are a college or school and you want to start a team and be part of the championships in any of our free games, then please also check their link as well. The deadline for that will be the 8th of January, and any new teams will be placed into Division 2 once they get placed. However, today is the final day that we'll be broadcasting the games, and we have Overwatch for today. So to get started, I guess, I'm going to need some help, and you're going to want to see a little bit more than just my face. So we're going to bring on It's Puppy, or should I say Puppy, and It's Not Joe. Welcome, guys. Welcome back. Thank you very much for joining. How have you both been? Hopefully you've been able to play some games. I know we managed to play one or two cheeky little games of Overwatch, Puppy. Have you been able to play much recently?
Yeah, with the fingers sort of getting a bit better now. Only got it sort of wrapped up this time, so we're able to do more than just strafe left at the moment, which is a good news. So yeah, I've been playing quite a bit myself. Not so much enjoying the meta now that it's shifted to double shield, but yeah, got a few games in.
Yeah, you didn't pick up the nickname Zoolander while you've been playing recently, then? Just being able to turn? Or he could only just turn left, couldn't he? He was only...
Yeah. No. Nobody's been quite that witty. That's a new one, I got to say.
And how about you, Joe? How have you been? Have you been able to play many games recently?
No, not really been playing much. A lot more commentating on the side. Been working a few other things alongside Esports Champs as well. So I'm glad to be back with you guys, though. It was a lot of fun last time. I'm looking forward to seeing some good games today.
Well, today I've been instantly disappointed because following on from our last broadcast, you kind of started I wouldn't say the tradition, because broadcasts of a professional nature, which is of course what we are,
Of course.
like to dress professionally. And one of our production managers, Elliot, said that you, in fact, Joe, made a very good effort in wearing a shirt and tie. So I decided to try and up you today by wearing a shirt and a blazer. It's a little bit dark because my camera's a little bit rubbish, I know. I'm thinking that I will be able to match the level in which you brought to last time. And then now, just look at you. You've just gone above and beyond. And I think we were talking briefly just before about how you can even do even better next time.
Yeah, I think the end discussion ended that we were possibly, not promising anything, but possibly looking at stepping up from formal wear to well, why not bring a bit of the game to us as well? Maybe a McCree. I feel like I could pull that off. Need a cowboy hat and a bit of a shave. I think I could pull it off.
Yeah, the beard would go well. Yeah, I think definitely.
Don't expect me to do the accent the entire time, though.
I did joke about being a Mercy. I might live to regret that one. But Puppy, on the topic of cosplay, are there any that you think you'd best fit that?
Well, I was going to say Mercy myself because I mean I
Yeah.
can't really get away with the blonde hair with much, to be honest, unless I dyed it. So I don't know really. Any ideas from you guys?
So wait, does that mean that I get 2 pockets?
Maybe, maybe.
You
One of
get a
you
little
can
eye
heal
patch,
and one of you
maybe.
can damage boost.
Yeah, yeah.
I will only have the blaster out, or just damage boosting. That's it. No
That's
heal
fine.
beams from
That's
me.
fine.
Mercy and Ash, somebody said in chat. Maybe actually. I don't know which I would prefer out of Mercy or Ash though. So I
I
don't know.
think you
We'll
could
have
pull
to
off Ash. I
yeah,
think you
put
could
off
pull off
Ash.
Ash, mate.
Put off
Yeah.
Ash. Okay.
It'd be 2
All right.
cowboys then, and a Swiss person. Be weird.
That would be weird.
Interesting
Anyway,
combo.
we digress. Let's talk a little bit about today's matches. We've got 2 games. The first one is Wyke versus Papyrus Beta, their second team. We briefly spoke just before we went live about how you think the game's going to go. Wyke at the moment are 7-1, just below the top of their group. So they're sitting second at the moment. I think even. I'd have to double check the league tables there. They're also on a 3-win streak, so doing very well at the moment. And then Papyrus are 2 for 6, and also coming into this match off the back of a loss. So I think Puppy, we might have casted Wyke before, and in Discord we mentioned had a couple of conversations just in the lead up to today this afternoon. We mentioned that their flex tank Mihao, who I think may have got play of the game, or if not, was definitely put forward as getting player of the match. Do you think he's going to be a player to keep an eye on for today?
Without a doubt. I mean, that Diva Bon at the end of, I think it was Havana,
It
was
was Havana, yeah.
absolutely huge. Yeah, so any sort of big plays like that, expecting them to come out of Mihao for sure. And such a wide hero pool as well, just able to flex onto just about anything. Saw the main tanks popping out, a bit of a Winston, some Rhine, but also some Diva. I think we saw some Wrecking Ball from Mihao as well. So yeah, it's going to be interesting to see exactly how they play that one, especially with the tanks taking a little bit more of a back seat with this new meta coming up.
Well, Double Shield is kind of unfortunately edged its way back in. Sigma is just does too much damage, and as much as people love Ryan, hopefully the changes might come through. But he can only either shield or damage, whereas Orisa and Sigma can do both at the same time. With Mihao being so flexible on the tanks that he plays, Joe, do you think that there is any kind of static meta at the moment? And if not, what do you think we might be seeing today?
I feel like with the current meta, especially, Double Shield is just very strong. It's not the case of the Orisa being the problem, which I feel a lot of people talk about. No one really likes to play the Orisa, but she's just so strong, especially when you combine her with the Sigma, especially. The Sigma being able to do so much, put out so much damage, also being able to eat so much damage like a Diva can and getting that back as shields, but then also having the accretion for a stun and an ult that does a flat 50% of max health to everyone caught inside it is just ridiculously strong. And then you combine that with the new Baptiste plasma screen TV and his immortality field, which may be getting changed hopefully in the next patch if the experimental changes go through. That being reduced from 200 HP down to 150 should make it so that we hopefully move away from this meta into something. Well, I think everyone's kind of hoping for something a little bit more dive focused.
No, I mean, I think everybody. I don't want to say everybody. I've got a kind of soft spot for Orisa, but
bye
maybe come back. No, where you going? I mean, before the double shield meta came along.
Okay,
So
allow it.
I liked the hook combo with Hog. I actually enjoyed that. But I think with Ash and now with Echo, and obviously now with Sigma being so strong, it's just Holt being nerfed a little bit. Orissa's kind of, I don't think that she's overpowered. She just kind of supplements the rest of the team a little bit more, rather than, you know, you can sometimes change Orisa out for Ryan on some maps.
Yeah,
but if you're still playing double shield, Sigma's probably still going to be there.
Yeah, I feel like with the Orisa, the main part of using the Orisa is for the supercharger. You also can rotate it out with the Baptiste's immortality, amplification matrix. We spoke about this a little bit last week, where if your Baptiste is building his amplification matrix so quickly, you can then have your Orisa fire through that. She then builds up her supercharger, and that is then amplifying everyone's damage. Everybody else then builds up their ults, and you can just use those two to keep rotating out everybody else's ultimates. So I feel like that's why that combination is so strong. But then on maps where you need to be a little bit more dynamic, you can't hold in a position as much. I feel like the Reinhardt is a very solid choice.
Just for your viewers, we do have a little bit of a delay. Hopefully we'll have an update soon about the matches. But we can continue just our chat, because who doesn't love listening to our lovely voices? Puppy, on the experimental, we've just touched on it. It does mention Reinhardt getting an absurd buff, really including an extra 50 armor to his health on top of what he already has, an extra 10 damage to swing, which definitely impacts some of the break points on some enemies like Doomfist, Reaper, and May, just requiring 3 swings instead of 4 swings. And then that doesn't include the damage boosts if you do play an Orisa or a Nano, or any of those kind of other things, as well as D.Va getting a switch between her armor being shared out a little bit more. So she has 300 armor and 300 health, whereas with 400 armor and 200 health, allowing her to eat a bit more damage. Do you think this might kind of go back to the Ryan D.Va meta, which I definitely preferred, and I think a lot of people preferred, but do you think it might be forcing, I guess, more games, more teams to default to Ryan and D.Va?
I think it's definitely going to be a strong case for that, for sure. The changes, like you say, to Ryan's armor, I probably agree with, to its damage. I've always kind of advocated for these non hybrid heroes, because we've always seen those heroes sort of come into the game and kind of make people feel a little bit less like playing the game. To be honest, Brigitte is a perfect example of these heroes that have come in and just kind of crossed the bridge of being not only a support but like a DPS as well, and also a bit, too tanky. So adding this extra damage onto Ryan, I feel like is a step maybe in the wrong direction. I'm not saying Ryan doesn't need a buff, because he does. I feel like, well, as a Ryan sort of person myself, I'm going to be a little bit biased, but I do have to say that they should be buffing the right things, and I don't think they're quite buffing the right thing with the changes that they're making to Ryan. But yeah, I feel like a Ryan D.Va would probably be a more maybe even the Ryan Zaya, the classic combo. Obviously, with the changes to her right clicks, dropping it down to 5 right click shots has made it a little bit more difficult to get that damage out in Zaya. But yeah, Ryan D.Va definitely seems like it's going to be a very big possibility in the near future.
Okay. Well, we are still waiting for the second team to get in touch. We do apologise for the delay. We are going to make sure that we give you an update as soon as we can. But in the meantime, we're going to go to a short break. And if there is a somewhat of a delay on the way back, we're going to continue our discussion about the meta and hero changes. Please don't go anywhere, or do go anywhere and get a drink and come back in a minute. Welcome back. Apologies for the short delay. We do have a scheduling issue with one of the colleges that were due to play today right now, which means we're going to be showing you something a little bit different. Instead, we've shown in the past a few matches against some of the BEA members of staff and volunteers, and today, at least just to fit in, I'm finally going to get to play. As you can see, me and Puppy have taken our jackets off because we're taking this seriously, and we're going to be playing a friendly against the other team. Just a couple of maps until we have the scheduled second game this afternoon. So, Puppy Joe, how are you feeling about it?
I regret mentioning that I've played the game recently, so when I inevitably feed regularly throughout this game, it's going to look really bad and people are going to discredit all my future casts. But it's fine, because we're here to have fun.
Are we able to make a gentleman's agreement not to play double shield? I don't want to play this.
We should ask that.
Quickly, somebody
Make
ask
it
in the
more
lobby.
fun.
Well, I did show this to the guys in chat. My friend went to America and we play Overwatch. Actually on console, but I also play on PC. He got this. Hopefully you can see it. I mean, did stick an Overwatch sticker on the front. The world's best thrower. Obviously, it's not Overwatch at the moment. Hopefully, I won't be doing that in today's match. But we're also going to be having a few of our production team as well joining us. So, hello, production team. We'll be able to hear you from the Discord channel. You can unmute yourself and say a quick hello.
What to play, although I'm probably going to be rusty.
Sure, we'll work it out somehow. I'm sure that we can come together and not lose too hard.
I'm gonna have a quick little snipe at their SR to see how we're standing. But
we see a top 500 icon in the lobby. It might be Lucio Ball.
That's Lucio Ball. Come on.
I mean, I haven't checked the profile, but it could be. I also have a slight question of what roles is everybody playing?
I was just thinking that.
I can flex, but I'm a tank main.
I am a support main through and through.
Yeah, you want me on support.
Okay.
Yeah, all right.
So let's have Susie and Emma on support then, if you're both support mains. And then, yes, that's me and Rinked on DPS.
Wait, what? I'm a tank main, hello?
You said you could flex.
Yeah, but I'm a
I
tank
know that the
main.
other two are tank
Super
players.
flexing.
Oh my god.
As you can see, this is going to be fantastic.
I'm sure it'll go absolutely fine.
So somebody, by the way, I'm just saying, somebody on Wyke team suggesting maps have said Paris. So please vote against them. You want to be supporting us, not them. We're just waiting for everyone to be ready, and then we'll change the stream over to in game.
Are we doing a best of 3 or what?
I guess we'll see what the time is, but yeah, we could just do.
Let's do a control map to start.
Yeah, let's start on maybe Li Zhang. Everyone likes Li Zhang.
Yeah,
Li
sure.
Zhang. It's the usual.
They said Horizon as well.
They're trolling.
They're trolling hard.
I actually want to beat these guys now.
Well, see, the thing is, now we could force them to play Paris. They suggested it, so we could start with
Paris. We're not playing Paris.
We could.
We are not playing Paris. I would rather shoot myself than play Paris.
Go on, anyone in chat? Does anyone actually like Paris or Luna Connolly?
I'm seeing a lot of people complaining about Paris. But yeah, let's get in. I think so you're going to see the top of my head.
I think we're ready. So hopefully it'll go to the feed because I need to get a little bit closer and you won't see my shiny head on my lights. We're going to transition to the feed. As you can see, we're all getting serious, and you'll be hearing our chat as well as some odd casting while we're playing as best as we can. We're going into Li Zhang, a friendly game, and we have no idea what's going to happen.
Right.
Be
interesting. Main tank or off tank then, Servitude?
I can main support. Have we got supports already?
We've got supports already.
We've got supports. You two are on tank.
Okay.
Oh yeah, how's that gonna work?
Me and
Oh
Servitude
yeah,
tank.
maybe with the curse.
You play main, I'll play off.
All of our calling
I
is
can play
going to
main.
be slightly behind. Well, slightly.
Yeah.
It's going to be 3 minutes behind on. So
Oh,
I guess we
God.
need to be muted on broadcast, and it'll just be game sounds.
Is that going to be best?
Well, otherwise you're going to be hearing what we're saying 3 minutes before you see
Yeah.
it.
They'd just be so confused.
This is gonna be so weird.
Um,
Like, who came up with
yeah,
this
I think
idea?
you have to mute the. I think you
It's
have
not-
to mute our
No,
audio.
it's not a 3-minute delay. It's only going to be a few seconds, isn't it?
Okay.
Yeah.
Need to go.
Let's pick some
talk
heroes,
about
guys.
comp. Yeah, I'm going to play Pharaoh.
Oh my
because I've got
goodness.
it.
Right.
Pharmacy,
What am I playing then?
whatever you want. Whatever you want.
Oh, I'm playing
Any
DPS.
whatever you
Oh my
go
god.
Let's go.
We
Whose
win
idea
these.
was this?
I don't know. Right, wait. So
They got Ryan, Hanzo, Lucio, Kree.
Go forwards.
Take
Go
corner.
forwards.
Taking corner. Let's push in. Push Ryan out.
Bubble in 3.
I got flash. Flash.
He's
in.
back.
Ryan. Good. Push
Oh,
Zarya.
forwards.
Zarya, no bubble.
Oh, I bubbled the Anna. My bad.
Get a
Lucio
Zarya.
half, Lucio half.
Zarya half. Yep, on Lucio. Lucio 1. Lucio no boop.
They're all outside. I'm 40 on grab. Forwards.
Got
Yeah,
Hanzo
positioning.
keeping window.
I'm low. We need some heals.
I'm gonna
Nice
probably get booped from
heals.
the careful. Ooh, shit.
Yeah, watch out for boops.
Ooh,
We
one
got
down.
control.
I cannot res that because it's.
That's
falling off
that's
the
fine.
map.
That's fine.
Bubble forwards.
They
No,
use
not
lamp. They use
bubbling
lamp.
it.
They use lamp.
Come on,
It's
Zarya
fine.
bubbles.
Get Ryan.
Oh god.
But no.
Back out from
Fall
that.
back. Oh
Play back
god,
around the
you're
corner.
I'm gonna
crazy.
take
Be
corner.
careful.
Don't worry.
Well,
Oh!
no.
Actually, big break.
Kill's worth it.
What the hell?
Servitude, what the hell is that?
Oh, that's brilliant.
Actually,
Well,
genius
that's one way
plays.
to counter the bat.
Yeah,
That was
Oh,
filth.
we got him. We got him here. Let's push up.
Right,
Let's
Can we play on
be
point?
aggressive.
Okay.
Let's be aggressive.
Yeah,
We
we
can
might
be
as well
aggressive.
play in the
Aggressive.
Got it.
Be
Forwards.
aggressive.
They're going left, I
I
think.
got no energy.
Keeping them left. I'm gonna look for a
I'm low.
hammer.
Oh shit.
I can flash here.
Oh, the hands are got me.
Backing up. Everything
Oh,
down.
that was a good block. I'm down.
Okay, we lose
Back
these.
up,
Go
back
back,
up,
go
point.
back,
Yeah,
go
back
back.
Just full on point.
Die on point.
I'm just
die
gonna
on
jump
point.
off map.
Yeah, just stall out. No, stall out.
Right, it's the world.
I high noon. It's a useless ult anyway. It's fine.
It's a zoning. It was a zoning.
Yeah.
Sorry, zoning. We got Grav. We got Grav Barrage.
Calling you out, MPD.
Oh, someone's a
I
super
think we're
fanboy. Let's go. Do we have anything to? Oh, we don't have.
We got Barrage coming up.
Oh, you would do if I could land the shot.
We're gonna grab early.
Why is he not ready?
Actually, no. Push Ryan.
I'm shattered.
Push Ryan. Hide from that. Get a lamp.
Oh, I'm in it.
It's fine. Back out. Quick win.
Okay, that was a waste.
They use beat. They use hammer. They use Kree.
Yeah, they use fine.
they use
Love
They'll
these.
probably have another window.
I've nearly got that though.
That was unfortunate. I got deadlight as soon as I got ground. That's
barrage.
lucky. Yeah, I guess.
You know,
Maybe
Barrage.
Shadow as well.
I can try to get behind them here.
Forwards.
Yeah, wait for it. Let's wait for a sec. Watch out, you by yourself a little bit.
Ow, I'm
Can we get a res on that?
Res that if we want.
Res it.
Yeah. She knows. Maybe. No, it's fine. I'm feeding.
Yeah, I can't get there.
I'm actually feeding my brains out.
Go left.
I need to not play this.
Yeah, back right
We
out.
have Barrage, save it. We got Nano Barrage. We can win next.
Yeah.
I think we save and then switch.
Go from the left of
Right's
Barrage.
pushing up.
Go from the left of Barrage, and I'll push right with Ringed.
Nice
Oh,
play.
good pick.
Let's go.
Let's go.
Ooh, nice.
Do we need the nano?
No,
No.
That's
we
it.
missed Shadow.
No,
That's
no,
fine.
No, it's fine. Push in Lucio 1.
Okay, we're using too
Huge
much.
dragon. Keep push through.
Yeah, I want to swap off this anyway.
They used Amp, I guess.
Sorry, 1. Nice.
Right, get point.
Yeah, you get point. I'm gonna go back and swap off.
We got Nano and Valk. Let's Valk early when they push in, and then we'll Nano whoever. Nano me if you want.
Probably
or
nano
Ring-
Ryan and just let you go crazy.
Or Ringed. What's your charger?
None.
Oh, okay. left side, back up. You guys have Ringed.
Okay, I'm at 40 at the moment. I'm gonna get a bit more.
Blocked
Big
it.
block.
Hands is low left. Hands is low left.
60 charge if you want to
Lucia's
nano me as
half.
well.
Oh.
Lucio,
No, push
Lucio,
it.
Lucio.
Hide. Just
Serve.
hide. No, hide from it.
Good. Now we go.
Can you nano me here?
Yep.
Push in.
Ryan's looking for a shatter around the side. Ryan.
Run.
Get Ryan low, push through.
Lamp.
Get Ryan.
Dragon missed.
Thanks for on the ring.
Serve, wait. You're mad. Can anyone touch?
Nice job.
Nice. No.
The quick reminder to look at the production chat.
Sorry. Oh, this is too fun.
Can we get maybe a Junkan May or Reaper May?
Yeah.
Or Sim if you want to play
We don't
Sim.
need the Mercy anymore,
Oh,
right? Do we
I could go
no.
junk.
Maybe if we're going if
Are
we're
we
going
actually playing
super
meta?
yeah, if we're going super brawl, then
We're
let's
actually playing meta comps on
we
Lucian
should do
Tower.
Moira.
This is great.
Maybe keep Diana.
Oh, Jesus.
I like my Nano.
Good call so far. Let's keep going.
Bam, thank you, ma'am.
Get ready to go all the way around the
Adult
right.
British Esports
We got
Championship.
Ryan, Reaper, May. Go around the right. All the way back. Oh,
That's a
huge pick.
Reaper and a May. Oh,
Your
boy.
walls. I messed it up.
Big energy.
Ryan low. Reaper no rate.
Forwards.
Push Ryan after bubble.
Reaper around the
I'm
side.
down, you've got Fiona.
May one. Oh, you're...
Down two.
Oh, I got
Ready,
froze.
lamp.
Down three.
It's fine. Back out.
Back out.
Help me.
Don't get out. Charge.
One in the trap.
That's
Run
unfortunate.
away!
Back to base. I'm max N.
What we got?
Finds
I
might
can
have
look
shatter
for
now, I'm
Hannah.
not sure.
They're gonna look for a wall.
He's
Okay, can you do a vertical? A vertical wall?
I've already swapped off, mate.
That's fine. Let's go. All together.
Don't get wall.
Oh, you walk off, you walk
I'm
off.
fine.
Middle.
Get Ryan.
Serve. What are you doing?
Ryan in the back.
What is this? Okay, we got one. Just go.
Push.
Heal up Zarya.
Push. Lucio,
Your wall, break middle.
Frozen dead. Oh, I did not realize I got walled. Big shot.
Push.
Sorry behind you.
Serve kind of goaded, what?
It's purple.
Zarya 1.
I can't hit her because
We got caught.
Ryan's back in. Watch out.
Save call.
Sorry,
Reaper place.
so one. Dead.
Reaper.
Nice.
Reaper no rate.
Reaper
No
I'm
rate.
down, you got Mirror here.
Ryan low. Ryan 1.
I can't, you're bored again.
Oh, that was a big
boy.
hammer. He's hammer freeze. Oh, huge bubble.
Huge time.
Winnable.
Lucio, one,
Lucio 1. Lucio still 1.
Lucio's just
How is he still
doing
alive?
things. Okay, he's dead. Reaper might
They
be
might touch,
They
yeah.
switch to Tracer. So they may.
Push.
Okay. How close you to pulse? So you got pulse.
Yeah,
Okay,
yeah,
close
I
and grab. Close and grab.
Big shot.
Huge.
Oh,
no.
I'm
Big
gonna need some
anti.
help here, though.
Okay.
Big.
Nice.
Let's use window hammer.
I don't even know who went that out there, sorry.
You damage.
That's Blossom.
They grab bottom.
Square.
Use freeze as well. They changed
And
Tracer.
Square. These three. I don't think they use B.
Yeah, I'll pulse.
Okay, push this, Ryan. Push Ryan. Ryan's half.
We have grab. Oh, we have grab pulse. Give me a sec.
Yeah.
Go.
Nice block.
Oh,
They've beaten, they've lamped as well.
Tracer behind.
Push the
sure.
point, we got to push the point.
She's low.
Push Ryan.
No recall behind still.
Oh,
She's still behind.
Touching. Tracer's low. Tracer's
Sorry,
dead.
Charles, to die.
Ryan.
Reaper's flanking. Reaper on me.
Ryan 1.
Yeah, with you.
Reaper's gonna kill me. Reaper.
Behind the boy, behind the
Get Reaper. Reaper 1. Reaper half in the back.
Just Reaper, please. Thank you.
Nice. Play back a little bit.
Get heal.
3.
I'm gonna tire from right side.
Yeah, buy some time, yeah.
We have Nano Shatter and Tire.
Firing.
Already? Alright.
Oh, nice.
Yeah. Lucio half. Oh, you probably don't need anything.
Where's Reaper? I hear a shot.
Big
Ooh,
hammer.
Big shot.
Get a lamp. Ryan.
Zarya on the right, full charge.
Yeah.
So am I. Well, actually, I'm 60, but I lied. But...
Zarya still
Get
half.
Reaper first. He's got lifesteal. He's 1.
Stabilize.
No bubble.
Yeah.
Soldier with
Stabilize.
team.
They can't push yet.
They fed me energy.
Watch out
Go
for Ryan,
forwards.
he's gonna be close.
Big
I got one.
pick.
Pick up
Huge pick, Lucio half.
Big pulse.
Ryan one.
Lamb,
I'm dead.
Yeah, bubbles.
Oh, that's not
Reaper's looking for
Pretty
Blossom.
painful.
Zoe one.
Oh, huge no.
Reaper looking for Blossom.
Huh?
yeah.
Faded, no race.
On
He
Reaper.
won, he did, he gone.
Nice.
We're gonna have grab for last.
Stabilize. How we doing? We're only 4 at the moment, so give them space if they need it.
Oh god, cool.
Soldier main.
Heavy grab.
90 on
We've
grab.
got a hammer. We'll call early, but watch out for hammer.
Do they have shatter?
Yeah, probably. Yep.
Yes.
Not now.
Really nice one.
Yep.
Get inside. Sorry, I'm position.
Oh, reset.
Every 1 for 1.
Oh, I shouldn't
Zion
have
behind.
charged.
Zion, literally one Zion.
Soldier.
You can do it.
Right, flanking us. Reasons. Back.
Run back. Ryan's half.
Dead.
Yeah.
Oh.
Try and buy some time if you can.
Help me!
I'll come out the ball.
I'm gonna come back on ball.
I'll come out the ball.
Yeah, just go back on stall if you can.
Yeah.
Keep touching. Huge stall, by the way.
Oh, you've already taken ball. I'll take monkey then.
What I got?
I'm dead. They've switched.
Might be able to get there.
Oh, good try.
This is actually way too intense.
Like I said, we're gonna get slapped about.
I mean,
Hectic.
this is actually
pretty much fun, though.
They're,
so much fun.
They're taking
gonna
the mick out of our calls. Apparently, we actually do more damage by saying the same name over and over and over. And over. So if we keep
That's why
calling like,
so good at
right, then we do more
So
damage.
that's why
Oh,
Shotgun's so good at
that's
Overwatch
two.
League, isn't it? They
Let's
just
play-
sound the same
let's do
name,
dive.
just
Let's
boost up the damage.
Do you want an Echo Mercy
Yeah.
Pocket?
Yeah, do a mercy.
Possibly.
That's a lot.
I'm gonna play
That's
Mesa
good
again,
dive.
then
Okay.
if they go for a nice
Yeah,
little
when
dive.
Oh, I messed out rollout.
Watch
Yeah,
for a
Farah,
pharmacy.
watch out, watch
Pharmacy,
okay,
ball.
okay, well, we do 5 use.
Ball's going in. Get ball.
Ball
Ball
behind.
in the back. Get
Ball
ball.
on Arana. Ball. Can we kill
Ball
it?
half.
I'm gonna jump onto
Ball.
it.
I've got the bigs on me in a minute.
Low.
Oh, I've got pharmacy.
Why is there a Ryan here? Hello? Ryan's low.
Ball's still low.
Okay, I'm being held by Ash. Ow.
On a ball. Everyone on ball.
Ryan's
Ball one.
Pharmacy Ash, this is good.
Nice.
Farah's low.
You Anna's dead. I'm gonna try and res it.
Runs in.
Oh, that's a right.
No.
You
Okay,
guys
pharmacy.
are done.
Go for
Oh, I'm
back.
dead. I fed my brains
Bootsy
out.
Ash maybe.
Again.
Next, she's back up. We get back.
Ryan purple, one.
nice. Oh,
Get Ryan.
Push me, one.
Oh, Mercy half.
Okay, we get back.
Again, we're
Scan, I guess.
Yeah.
I should probably play Hog, but
I got mines
yeah.
this one
No.
though.
I enjoy Winston too much on this map.
Farah's gonna come push me out.
Serve, where I... Okay, is there anyone I can dive with
watch
you?
on bridge. The ball's waiting.
Farah's by. Yeah, we can mines. Here. Farah's pushing me out.
Ryan is low-ish. Oh god, thank you.
I'm gonna go for mines on point.
Oh,
Really
nice.
nice.
Go. In.
Oh, another monkey, go.
Oh, I
yeah,
just
no.
finished.
We have these
Try and res that.
What happened to the nano?
I'm good.
Okay. Okay, we didn't... Well, we did use... Wait. What happened to the nano?
You get it. Come switch.
Just die quick. Just die fast.
Yeah, that quick. We got to go with this.
I'll look to try and take the Ryan and go for it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Go for it. I'm gonna.
Or
should
maybe
probably-
the Ash and just get bombed.
I'm gonna go Hog in a bit. I think this isn't working. I've got Primal, but...
I'm gonna go ready
Fine,
to
no
die.
fire strike. Right, we ready to
position.
jump on him? Or where are you?
Yeah. I'm in a backup moment. They're retreating back
Right,
to me.
go ready.
We're gonna mines point. Go for the ash bat. Ready? Going in now.
Jumping on them with you, where are they? There's no one here! Oh, there's one if you feel
Oh,
it.
I got
This one.
Ooh, balls half.
Target. Bubble.
Mercy,
That's on the
I've
outside.
got Primal.
Try and get Mercy down if you
Why
can.
am I lagging? Oh, Farah?
Nice.
So we move
Is he low?
in.
Is he
Mercy
dead?
around. Ball's still here. Ball. Pulled up. We
dead.
take this. We take these.
Get here quick because I.
Thank you.
Oh, they've got Reaper now. Why do they have to make my life a misery? Ow.
No, they're still playing with the ball, Ryan.
We need to be careful. They got Reaper now.
They're going white
They're
room.
gonna
They're going
shred
right
us.
room.
They
They're all coming left.
Yeah,
Oh,
come
boy,
back,
come
I'm
back,
feeding.
come
I'm
back.
out of here.
We can spam them out a lot.
I can bob this.
Yeah, bob that.
Pop.
Bobbing it.
Could have used lamp as
Round
well.
one.
Pressuring healers.
Jump onto them.
Yeah.
Lamp.
On the Yash.
You
Reapers
shouldn't
get
need
Bruce
to
back
res
in.
that.
Going to back out.
Yeah, Reaper.
I've nearly got another duplicate.
We got someone else.
Alright.
Ash is in White Room. I had one.
She in there?
Corner room, sorry.
She is.
Oh yeah, she's out.
I think they popped Immo, it looked like.
Immo, you mean?
Nice pick. They're probably gonna res it.
Oh, I couldn't. I tried. I was going to think about jumping into stagger it. Stop it. Reaper's TP'd right side. He's
Yeah,
with you, serve
Ball's
careful.
looking at bridge as
He's
well.
literally
They're
on
all
the platform
on
above
left,
you.
on the
He's
right.
literally on the platform above you.
Mercy dead.
Oh,
Huge,
good
I'm
job.
jumping in.
Really nice.
I'm not with you at the
That was a
moment, be
mistake.
careful.
I'm going to die.
It's fine.
Reaper's coming in
I'll
hard.
have mine in a second. Ash is White
You
Room.
might have lost some.
Just trying to build up mines. Gonna
Reaper's
mines
going to
early.
TP behind you.
Reaper.
Careful.
Leave behind. Oh, no.
Yeah.
Put DPS down.
Reap.
Duplicate, but it's not like it.
We've got time for a test.
We have no
I've got
Yeah,
Prime.
I'm coming.
I've got
Yeah,
Mercy.
pop it. I can pop it.
Yeah, pop it. Stall it
I
out.
might be able to get another. I've got Bat. I mean,
Nice.
Ash.
Oh,
I've got
go,
Stay
go,
Stable.
point if you can.
Maybe winnable. Okay, maybe not.
It's fine. Regroup. We've got time for regroup.
I've got
I have
Valve,
duplicate
we can
here. We have Val.
Xenos into touch.
I can
You got
touch
something?
that. We got time. Ryan's go bridge.
Go bridge.
I can touch.
Watch for boobs. Watch for boobs.
Here he comes. Oh, he's really low though.
He killed himself. Go.
Back half.
Oh!
Oh, I got killed by the
Stop my strength with the window.
I
Spinning
got
to
bob
win.
point. I'm bobbing.
Yeah, bob point.
You can get a point if you want.
Bob, we bob.
Right is
So Ryan's
one.
low,
He is
Ryan's
lamp, he is
low.
lamp.
Actually won.
no healing.
Reload.
We lost the round. That's unfortunate.
Oh.
I'm telling you, like, we came in too
We're
confident.
washed up, man. We're washed up.
Watch that.
Wait, can we be washed if we were never good to start?
Asking the important questions. That's unfortunate. We should have won that.
Yeah, like, this is the...
A brawl's better than
Yeah.
dive, definite.
I'm not on the screen! How did I die?
I gave up on this bit. I was like, just kidding.
Yeah. I was trying to run back to see if I could shift to someone. Didn't work.
Damn, so
Big damage coming in from the Rhine.
actually, are we doing another one?
I'm not sure.
I think we've got time for one more. So... I
Well,
didn't have time to stand up.
I don't think it would have
Well,
mattered.
guess we're down
I'm not
here now.
sure.
Alright,
It
we'll do
started
it.
so well. It started so well.
Did.
I think our dive's a little bit sketchier than our brawl though. I definitely haven't played ball that much for a little while.
Your Ryan is cracked, dude.
Alright, it's
Although-
not too bad.
I do have to say, I think this definitely highlights just how strong this team is. We actually casted them the last time we were on. We gave them a lot of compliments for how well they played.
Yeah,
And
they're a good team.
we're, I'd say, a fairly decent ranked set of players, and they kind of just wiped the floor with us, including that first round.
I don't know. I think it was 99 to 99, wasn't it?
Yeah, we pushed them. We pushed
think
them.
it was.
We
I think
pushed
it was-
them.
Gave them a good
but-
fight.
Technically, we should be beating them if we're just looking at ranked, but it really shows you how much these guys have practiced together. They know their rotations, they know their compositions, they know their strengths, and they're playing very, very well.
There's the caster's perspective we were waiting for.
So let's
Well, I
make
mean-
sure that we destroy them in this next map then.
Well, I mean, like, I scrim for probably our SR is probably around 3.3, 3.4 average, but we always play against 3.6 to 4K because anything lower than that is too easy for us. Not because of our because of our mechanical skill, but it's because we've played with each other together for like a year, 2, 3 years. Some of
Jesus.
us.
Ooh, the
So it
defensive
definitely
tool,
makes a
I
big
like it.
difference. Anyway, on to this next one. Hopefully we'll be going into the game if you're not already on feed.
Send us your energy, chat.
Yeah, we need some support here. This is going to be our last friendly before we go into a proper,
We're doing this for you.
school comp game.
And for our stupidity.
What do we want, by the way? We can get like a Zen.
That sounds fun.
Yeah.
We do about 10. We do about 10.
And then maybe the Ash again. The Ash. If you feel that.
I can try an Ash. Yeah, I'm not very good.
Hey,
It's
look,
can
look.
generally.
It's fine.
I believe.
I try. Oh, I'm a little bit late. I'm running.
As I said, when the adult version of the British Esports
I think got Widow. Be
Championships
careful. Be
coming.
careful. Widow's still top. Widow's still top. Be careful.
I don't reckon Widow.
They're gone off.
Hands up. Oh no,
she's
I'm gonna die.
above the
Okay,
terminal.
right speeding.
Right,
right
push
speeding.
line, push line.
Okay, serve your
Mine is
insane.
footed.
Oh, I went
Oh
low.
boy.
Break shield, break shield, break shield.
Break shield.
We just got melted.
Sorry, play in the back.
I'm gonna go Winston and
Come
dive.
in the back.
Let's go dive.
If they push you, just come all the way back.
They're running double sniper. We need to dive.
You go dive. I'll stay on the front. Come back. Give him the tick. We might be able to contest this. No. Just come all the way back, so we can get everyone out. We're at the top.
Oh, Widow got me top left. Yeah.
Oh, I'm just gonna die on the point.
Yeah.
The 101 headshot.
Where?
Up top.
Do we do
Window.
all the Zen or do we want to meet
Whilst I'm dead, I'll take question
I'm
from the chat.
I'm just waiting for the widow to
Yeah,
jump
back out.
up.
Back out.
Nope, they found me. Right hands up.
Alright.
You shoot the corner.
Take corner. Push corner. Push Ryan. Ryan's alone here. Ryan half. Ryan low. We can hold a corner. Drop the shield for a
There's
second.
no one up here.
slept.
I'm sad.
I'm dead.
Oh,
Oh, that was a nice block.
They're warmed up now.
They are warmed
They
up.
smell blood. Hey! Good man for himself.
They're walls as well.
Goodness.
Fine. We got Bob. We got Window coming up.
Okay.
We can recontest to that one.
I need
Save.
to get to a mega
Try and-
somehow. Take the
Yeah.
one that's
Widow.
spawn. I'll
He's
take the
so
one that's
slender.
spawn.
Oh, goodness.
That's a
We
big.
are getting stomped now. Alright, I'm coming back. Is this winnable, or am I gonna feed by jumping into
I
the
think we
team?
should probably.
I'm
Oh,
anti
pivot,
and one.
pivot.
I'm literally one health. Oh,
Pivot,
push sorry.
The widow's
Oh.
I'm dead.
It's called
Oh,
Zen.
it's me how.
We are
It's me out.
getting pushed back. We're very, very.
The knee how things.
We need another dive tank, I think. I can't dive them alone. This is
Do you
stupid.
reckon we go dive?
We don't have top
I can
left.
dive with you on Echo.
Alright, let's go full dive.
Oh look,
Use-
now they all
use
spinned
Widow.
onto me.
Use-
Great,
use
this is
Widow.
fun.
Use
literally all turned
use
on
Bob
to
to
me.
contest. We're gonna taking high ground.
Have a look.
Huge.
Widow one. Widow dead. Watch out for grab.
I'm doing the
Ryan
move
one,
up.
Ryan dead.
dead.
Sorry. Sorry
Go
one,
on,
sorry
Bobby.
dead.
Nice.
Try and back out if you can, Rick.
I'm doing the
Make
move
sure
is
you
great
grab.
adventure.
Oh, you're hungry,
man.
hungry for more.
I've switched off Widow.
We will refuse to play Sigma Hog.
You got Cree. They're gonna have Zarya here.
Because we don't know Winston Diva's meta. No, she's not meta, but you know.
Right, yeah.
Ryan's
So I want
burning.
to
Come
take
on, Ryan, you know you want to shadow, you know you want to shadow.
Right.
Yeah, that's right, you were looking to a little corner.
Footed and green.
Coming back for some heals. Ryan's pinning back. You need to get out of it. Try and get out if you can.
Run,
I'm
Reek,
not
run.
out so
Try
much.
and get out. We're gonna look for a hammer here. Try and come. Give him some space.
I'm in trouble.
Ooh, one step high ground.
I'm in danger. Time to spin to win.
I
Take it back.
basically have.
Ooh, I'm anti.
Dude,
Big burn.
Mine is right here. Hello.
yeah, I'm
Yeah,
shooting
yeah.
in the back. You've won.
he isn't.
Help with that.
Hide.
Big jeep.
I keep spinning around.
Peek me up here.
Okay, that was
I
not
can't hit anybody. Why am I so terrible at this game?
Zion
Help
and
all out.
personal.
Help all out. I'm
This
on
side
with
is
you.
tracking me down. I need a mega. Help me. Thank you.
I got Bob here.
I got body blocked.
Backing out, backing out.
I am back.
Ow!
And I got shattered.
Oh,
And it's low.
Very, very nice land. I got knocked out
Unlucky.
of the right thing.
Oh.
Really nice land.
Oh no.
Yeah,
good
the
job.
huge.
Get the right.
Oh no! I don't got you!
Oh, keep touching, keep touching. I'm coming back with bomb. I believe Rink.
I believe.
I have got this. I can't even lock on. I hate this. We need a bomb.
Big bomb incoming. I believe.
Actually, might be big.
Anyhow, he's so.
It was huge.
It
It was
isn't big.
huge.
Oh.
McCree flanking.
Get Cree, get Cree, get Cree. Oh.
Why am I slapped?
Feeling some fight.
I must have mines if you can keep me up. That's unfortunate.
It's alright, we can stall this for 2
Keep
minutes.
stalling,
more,
keep
right?
stalling. We can do it. Keep
Yes.
the stalls
I
going.
can.
Oh,
Oh,
good try, good try.
Okay, I say we go into the option, change it, and we play goats on the back. Remove the 2-2-2 lock and we play 3-3.
I'm not playing Brig, man. Don't make me do it.
Alright,
not
you play
playing.
the Zarya, I'll go.
Do we have anyone who plays
Oh,
Brig then?
Should I play the
I'll
Zarya?
play the
I can
Brig.
play Brig.
We're playing
I'm
2-2-2
I'm
goats.
bad
What
at
is
Brig.
this?
Just 2-2-2.
Alright, 2-2-2 goats. So that.
What is that?
I mean,
It's,
What
it would be like Lucio, Moira.
Yeah, let's do
So it's
Lucio
just
Moira.
Yeah,
I'll
so-
play.
Lucio and Moira.
Let's
Okay.
do Death Ball.
Who do you want, Lucio or Moira?
I'm better at Moira, definitely.
Alright.
and
I
then
would
like
crash Lucio.
Mave.
Yeah, that's pretty
I'm
death
not-
balling.
Or
not
Reaper Cree.
promising- I'm not promising a decent video. All I know is who do the chokes when we say go, go, go.
Yeah.
He fast boy. He's
Yeah.
slow boy.
Just speed boost, that's it.
Go.
Gotta go fast.
You don't know heal.
What do you want to play, Joe?
Oh, you want me to perma speed boost? Alright, I can do that.
Well, seeing as
Oh,
well,
no.
seeing as I'm gonna be cosplaying.
Yeah, we can do Cree. We can do Cree.
Do you want me to go May or Reaper?
Whoever you feeling.
Yeah, whoever you wanna.
YOLO it.
I feel like I've already been very, very.
Yeah, no worries.
I think I've
This has
already
been
been
good,
very,
though.
very bad by playing
fine.
Junkrat on the first map. So
We're gonna be
I,
super fast, so get ready to push in. We're just gonna
Ow.
Gonna
just
go-
push for
go
right.
through
Push
the
for right.
choke. Okay, you ready?
Yeah.
physically dodged that in real life.
Go.
They got
Oh,
May, they got May.
oh,
Immediately got.
I got May.
Watch.
May one,
Right.
May one,
Nice.
May one.
Winnable, winnable.
Yeah,
Healing,
yeah,
healing.
yeah, yeah.
Oh, Farah on the right, Farah on the right.
Maybe
They got
winnable.
ground Farah. Get
Is it
Farah
winnable?
by herself. Farah, yeah, Farah.
Yeah, winnable.
I don't know.
Alright, come back. Give us some space. We can come back with this.
I'm.
Leggy.
They're still running a May. They haven't got back
They're
yet.
out.
Ryan's gonna be a bit far back.
Ow!
Nice bubble. Push for Zarya.
We're down in the
Getting
creek.
spammed out.
Healing towards you.
Ryan's
Minus
back.
one.
Farah's round
Try and
the
get. We
right.
gotta give us
Farah's
Farah.
round the right,
Good
yeah.
mercy. Oh,
Ooh,
you're
that's
blocked
pretty
off, you're
nice.
blocked off.
Damn. Oh boy.
Yeah.
Help me.
Oh, I'm pinned.
Listen,
Goodbye.
Farah's dead. I'm probably gonna res it. Come back.
Yes. Joe on the Widow.
I got.
Let's go.
They're probably gonna be close to grab. They're not gonna have freeze though.
Right.
I do not have beat. I have.
They shouldn't have grabbed yet.
Alright,
They
playing
got
behind again.
barrage unexpectedly fast. Okay, they wasted
Alright,
me.
Maybe useful. Maybe useful. Push Ryan. Push Ryan.
Use-
Window.
Push it, push it, push it.
Push it.
Aww.
Should have expected that one.
I used a lot. That's
Window
fine.
slam.
Oof.
Wyke.
Where are we? Don't go through the choke. Go up the stairs into theatre,
yeah.
and then
Yeah.
drop through the window, and then
To
you'll.
avoid the
Alright.
wall.
Alright.
I'm gonna bait it.
Oh,
Well, that's
Back in.
unfortunate. We've lost our main healer at the start of the fight. I'm close on grab. We just need to get the lamp and we win.
It's Farah. That's my number.
Yeah.
right, I'm in.
We're here.
Yeah.
We're here.
Yeah,
Right, let's go. That's a quick.
I've got
I'm gonna
cold.
keep them distracted. You go down. I'm gonna.
Go. Run.
Get Ryan. Push Ryan. Push him now. I got pinned in the back.
Right one.
Ryan's half.
How does he stay alive?
Yeah,
This man's a
he's alive.
madman.
They're getting pockets of hard, man.
Shall we switch it up?
I have grab.
got
And
grab.
Well,
We got grab
I was
loss
about
in
to say
here.
they beat lamp, but they're gonna have it on cooldown.
I'll come
We
over.
got Farah's top left. She's playing top left. She's trying to hide.
Always have beat that, and then I can.
Barra's still
We seem
behind.
to
Be
get lamp
careful.
Yeah,
when
she's
we
still
win.
Everyone
top
hop in the
left. Up here.
TP. Let's go.
What is this?
Brent.
Nice. I like this.
Grabbing?
Get aside.
Sorry,
Press
go.
Oh wow.
Okay, then-
That's a lot of ults.
Needs a lot.
No.
Right, they used
Yeah,
everything there. So we have one more
Definitely.
engage. We engage with B.
We've got a beat.
Yeah, we're just gonna use B to push in.
B. If you can shield it, we can be onto the point and then B.
Okay, they've wasted wall.
Ryan's pushing me on the right.
Ooh,
Right,
we're
you
forced
want
out
me
block
now?
anyway.
No shield. Be careful.
We need to
You want me to
go.
TP?
Go through hotel.
No barrier. Be careful.
I
Need
missed
some
my
heals in the back. Push
Where are we
Ryan.
TPing to?
I've just put it up there.
Good luck, good luck, good luck.
May one.
Please,
May no freeze. Yeah, use B. Get me.
Where's the beat?
May one.
Right,
Good,
right.
good, good.
May dead.
Big
Go
crit
for
on the
it.
back.
Right behind them. Got Farah.
Winnable.
Help me with Ryan. Help me with Ryan.
One, 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 one.
I haven't got breather.
You're safe.
Your walls up.
Nice.
Yeah, it's alright.
May one.
Right.
Nice.
It's okay.
We win these.
Woo.
We just
Not
need to
even
make it
close.
look interesting, that's what it was.
We win these. Not even.
Not even close, baby.
Push up.
Easy.
You not push, I'll push
I
car.
love it.
Who's pushing cart?
Bap's alone here. We can get him.
Ooh, that's the low.
Nice.
I'm gonna try and cancel
Okay.
reds.
We can keep this spot.
Where's the
We can keep
mercy?
this
Where's the
position.
mercy?
Right, I can pulse it if it need be.
I need heals.
I might get bubbled
Yeah, I
though.
got
She
you.
might need to go through it.
Ryan's
Where's
pushing
the right here?
Farah's coming for you as well.
Nope. I thought we
Ryan's
vowed
pushing
not
you.
to play Sigma Hog.
We
This is gonna happen.
weren't going to play double shield.
Oh, right one.
Oh no, I'm shattered.
Farah's one.
He's literally one. Absolutely.
Alright, back up.
I love Emma just chilling on car.
Yeah, I'm just vibing, you know. I wasn't even moving, there's no point.
We get a Farah.
You're doing a wins.
I can't hit.
Oh.
She's low, she's very low.
Get back.
Very good. I'm the only one healing, so.
We've got another flux soon.
I'm gonna try and C9 it.
Ooh.
I'm already there.
Alright, do it. I'll see if I can.
Oh wait, don't go
We
yet.
don't
Don't go
really
to
have
cart
a
yet.
good
Don't go
answer
to
for
cart
this
yet.
Farah at the moment.
Okay. Right. Trying to pull. Farah's on it with the mercy and Baptiste.
They've used bubble. They push right. Let's push right. It's a good time to push through now if you can. You've got no bubble. The Rhine.
I can hack the Baptiste then.
I've got no shield.
What
Be
happened to my
careful.
hook?
Give it broke.
I got flux. I got flux
You-
soon.
Nice pick.
Ryan's
Push Ryan out. Watch out for hammer. Watch out for hammer.
That's unfortunate.
They got the res off, but
They have no lamp. They have no lamp. They have no bubbles.
that rank.
Get both tanks.
Go,
Both tanks.
far in
Both
the window,
tanks.
far in the window, careful.
Map hacked again.
Nice.
Oh,
Both tanks.
May one.
May one.
May literally one.
Yeah.
Wall behind you.
Hacked.
Huge hack.
Right.
Alright.
Mercy.
Mercy half. Mercy
Just
down.
tagged. Can't finish it though.
Let's get
Try and
free and cut. We need to get this.
Mercy hacked.
Nice.
Oh dear.
Oh, careful.
Oh no,
Watch
I
out
missed
for
my
barrage,
hook.
we're
I'm
gonna
going to
have
die for
barrage,
Farah.
Watch
Ryan's
out for
looking
hammer as
shatter,
well.
pretty sure. And they have grab. Oh no, I missed. They're looking for grab barrage.
They need
Red.
bubble.
Nice
Oh.
rock. You.
Good game.
Fire.
No healing. Just me. Now.
Sorry. Hack.
She's dead.
You can do it, you can do it.
She's literally one. I can't finish her.
You get Mercy.
Get Mercy.
She's low. Nice.
Oh, nice one.
Power, 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 power,
Nice
power.
axe.
Heavy MP as well.
Nice.
Huge. Actually, might be doable.
Winnable!
Not even close again.
Baby!
We need to be quick if we're going to get another attack.
We can wait for
There's
corner.
a big walking
We'll.
man's gonna
Oh, watch
jump
out.
here.
Hold
Hold
up.
on, right.
Got him.
Ah!
When did they switch to hog?
Just
Oh, that was unexpected. Oh god, I'm dead.
Yeah, back out, back out, back out, back out. We can EMP whole hog. Next one.
Ah! You found me.
Do we want to switch? I feel like I need to switch. I'm not getting much value in this.
Help,
We're
help.
Run at top, run at top. Watch out.
Oh, I missed the
Oh,
He's hacked, he's hacked, he's
One,
hacked.
please, one, please. Lamp, 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 lamp.
If you use lamp, use your lamp.
Oh, I'm EMP in this.
Yeah, yeah, definitely.
Hog's looking for her. Be careful.
Whoa!
Hog looking for hooks on the right.
Oh no!
You just love that pit, don't you?
Love it, love it. Use ults, use ults, use
Got
ults.
to-
We need to win this. We need to win this.
No, I can't breathe
I
up.
can touch, I can touch, I can touch.
We got hamster.
What is that?
We got time. We got time. We got time. We're gonna. I'll have Flux here.
We go hamster boy.
Don't get hooks out, Flux.
I got nobody.
Well, that's unfortunate. My
No!
Ryan hit my shield. Ryan.
The mega is
one.
hacked.
It's winnable. It's winnable.
but Not with that. It's not.
that's unfortunate.
Oh, winnable!
Oh,
I'm coming! Oh no, I'm not!
Right.
Good
That was
job.
GG's,
actually
guys.
surprisingly
That's
close.
done.
That was actually quite close.
What I'm saying is, we didn't play bad given that we were pretty rusty. We had no warm up, nothing.
That's why
yeah.
I'm blaming you.
Ice Storm on the Zarya, absolutely massive grab.
We
We can't really
we
help
should've
it,
won.
and he's just
We really should have won
turning through
these.
it. These guys were just very, very well playing very well together, and at the end of the day, we can't fault it. They
Sorry, you didn't get the ball.
Forget about-
Shot has been crap.
That was a proper game, wasn't it?
You know.
can we get POV as well? Oh,
So,
Right, shall I get the lobby ready?
okay.
I think we did
Back
pretty
to
well.
normal.
What do you think, Puppy?
I'm exhausted. No, I think we put up a good fight there, definitely. But they just showing how well drilled they are at their compositions. Just the Cleggy Farah and the Mihao Rhine. And the supports did fantastically. Great lamps as
Yeah,
well.
some big
So
lamps.
it's just yeah, brilliant stuff. Really fun to play against. That's for sure.
Yeah, their Ryan Zari is pretty strong, and I mean, I'm not taking away from the rest of their team because, as you said, the Pharaoh was doing quite a lot of damage, and you can't do any damage, and you can't keep the front line if your healers aren't keeping you up. But their front line do seem to have quite good synergy, and it was causing a little bit of problem for us, Joe. Just as you're taking a drink, that was perfect timing.
Yeah, their synergy was perfect. A lot of things that I see when I see a lot of Rein Zarya played. Zarya always having to use her bubble on the Reinhardt. Reinhardt was able to temper the aggression, which meant Farah could play very aggressive for her barrages. Receiving the bubble from the Zarya, meaning that we couldn't see Sia. And all in all, just really good play from them. We gave them so many compliments last time we casted them, and then playing against them shows really just how strong this team are. They may actually be lower SR in average, but clearly that doesn't really make a difference when you play as effectively as these guys do. Doesn't make a difference, and that showed today in the game.
Well, Wyke should be going possibly through as top of the table, almost definitely, or well, I think it is without a doubt they'll be going into the top league, Division 1 next after the break. Do you think they're going to be a team to watch out for, Joe? If you want to start this one.
Oh, definitely. We've been singing their praises throughout the season, and then especially last week when, oh, sorry, not last time we were on cast. Just how well they played together. There's many times where we actually had the advantage in fights and they've shown it as well in their previous games. But because of how well they're able to communicate which ults they should be using, who should be where, and what time, they're able to flip these fights and make it look like nothing. Really just made us look like chumps.
Well, although it's not an official one, Puppy, any player of the match, I guess?
Oh, I mean, like it's tough because I was playing a lot of Tracer the past couple of sort of rounds as well. So, and you're kind of so heavily focused into all you can take in is the people that are doing damage to you. So it's hard to say really. But if I had to say, then I'd have to say it'd be Coleg for me on that far. Just putting so much work and slowing down our pushes. And at the end of the day, I mean, Overwatch is a time game, and they took so much time off of the picks that they.
I've just been told that because we're going to be quite, I don't know, we're not
Biased.
going to vote for ourselves. We're not going to, yeah, we're going to try and not be biased. So we're going to put a poll into chat, and you viewers can vote for who you think was player of the match. Definitely Clegg was a problem. Anyway, that was a bit of a friendly. Hopefully, it kept you entertained. Against what we should have had, but we will be back shortly with an actual game, an actual proper game. Hopefully, it will be a little bit more equal as well. And
Does
we'll
that
talk
mean we get to commentate now?
We will get to commentate.
Woohoo!
I know, right? I mean, I was quite enjoying myself, but we'll be back in a couple of minutes anyway against the two teams, and we'll give you a little intro when we're back as well. So see you in a minute.
See you soon.
Well, welcome back. If you've just joined us, it's probably good because you would have missed the admins and us play. Not too badly, but we lost, fair to say. We had a couple of good close matches. But we're actually going to bring you a proper match now, and we're going to bring back your casters who are actually going to do some casting for this next match. I know. It's like, what are they even here for, hey? More than feeding. So we're going to bring back Puppy and Joe. I definitely did my own fair share, though. Sorry for that. That's just, I don't know. I just their tank was pretty. What's her name again? Sorry.
Anyhow.
Mihao. Yeah. I mean, I might have got a couple of good slams, but he definitely blocked more than I hit. I think he was definitely going toe to toe with me pretty good. How did you feel on the DPS? Both you guys were on DPS actually, weren't you? How did you feel that was going?
Never put me on DPS if you would ever like to actually gain SR. You will immediately lose it. Or ask for me on the enemy team on DPS. It's free SR.
And you, Puppy?
I mean, I feel kind of bad. I was playing all kinds of awful heroes with the Junkrat and Reaper and all sorts of stuff, and I know how much I hate playing against them. So, yeah,
I played
I suppose I
Sombra.
didn't really have
don't
much
think
else
you
to
can
say about
complain.
that. True. I didn't go that low. I didn't go, and I didn't play May either because you
didn't
played
play
May as
May,
well.
and we didn't play double shield. So
Yes, that was good.
I think we're winners in our own way.
We held ourselves to higher standards.
Yes, we will take that away from a match. Anyway, enough beating ourselves up, even though we lost. Let's get on to the next match, which is against McKennitt Clan and Farnborough Harriers. We've actually had the Farnborough Harriers on stream before. The Kennet Clan are currently 3 for 3, but at the moment on the back of a 3 loss streak. So I don't know if that's a bit of a roster change. Whereas Farnborough are 4 for 4 on the back of a single win. So it's quite even. Now, these two teams in Group 2, which you can have a look at the standings in the groups, are just above each other. Kennet do have a couple of games to play if they can fit them in, but they're both right in the middle of the table. So I would say that whatever happens in this match could decide what division they go into. I don't know if you're a player, if you had a preference, whether you'd want to go at the higher end of a bottom tier or a bottom end of a higher tier. I don't know how early on they are in the game in terms of their team progression and how long they've been together. But I guess, Joe, do you think that might affect how much they'll be playing? And yeah, I guess, what do you think we might be seeing?
This is something that we discussed earlier about when you were mentioning about the team that you play for. I feel like regardless of who you are, if you're wanting to improve, you want to be in that upper division, because if you're winning every single game and absolutely rolling all of them, never lose the point, you end up with 5-minute time banks when you're on attack, you're not really going to learn anything. But when you're playing against these higher teams and you're getting absolutely battered, you can't even leave your own spawn. It's those games where you can sit back and you can really analyze your performance and see where it is that you need to improve. So for both of these teams, the opportunity to go into that upper division is probably going to be definitely in the back of their minds, and it's really something that they should be striving for if they want to move up into this upper division and then even move up even further in that.
And I'm glad you mentioned it. I actually got my notes, which I very planned earlier because I'm a professional, but not as professional as you are with your fancy Christmas shirt on. But we won't talk about that again. I'm not going to get back into that. I'm not arguing. Puppy, Joe mentioned about mentality and about how people might be thinking forward ahead, but also maybe a little bit of worry or a bit of stress. Obviously, competing at any level is different to just solo queuing or playing quick play. These guys are teams who've been practicing together for might just be a couple of months, or we know that some of them have been playing together for more than a year. How do you think this kind of level, even if it is whatever SR they are, they're going to be playing against a team that's very similar to them, at least in terms of the league standings? What effects do you think this might be having on them mentally?
Yeah, I think it's definitely an interesting one, especially you have to take in so many things into consideration when you're playing as a team. And like what we'll talk about here in terms of psychology, it's a very very big factor on if you're going to turn up on the day. Some days you kind of just you don't feel it. You could wake up on the wrong side of the bed and you just don't feel it that day. It just so happens. So I feel like it really is anyone's game here, and honestly, I think it'd be a really really close game. Um, but I know from my experience, and I mean, we talked about it earlier in terms of how we have faced sort of higher teams than us when we've played in teams like. I know all three of us have played in teams before, and how much it really can sort of affect your mentality when you're riding this sort of this winning streak, and you're able to kind of keep going in with that confidence every single having those kind of yo-yo seasons where you're not quite finding yourself in a very stable sort of flow. That can be really where it kind of gets a bit tougher, and it does tend to bring out the kind of the weak from the strong rising and them in their own headspace. So yeah, it should be interesting to see who turns up today. That's for sure.
Well, like we said, Kennet is on a 3-loss streak at the moment, so hopefully they would have learnt from their mistakes in the past, maybe fixing some of the problems they had. It's very close, so I don't know whether we can make predictions just before we switch over to the game. Any quick predictions before we switch over?
I personally think it's going to be too close to call. I think it's going to be a case of whichever team can get this first map. I know we are heading to Nepal for the first one. So I feel like whichever team can perform there is probably going to be the one to lead the series.
Well, I'll leave the casting to these lovely, fine gentlemen, and I'll see you after the matches.
Cheers.
Thank you very much.
All right, Lijiang Tower to start it all off, the classic. Absolutely.
Or Nepal, as it's more commonly known.
Oh yeah, it is. Oh my goodness, that's a good start, isn't it?
Welcome to Nepal, everybody. Expecting, especially on Sanctum, we're going to be seeing some Roadhogs and Wrecking Ball looking for some environmental kills, and it is definitely appearing that way to start with.
Yeah, it looks like sort of very similar with the Sigmas coming out from both sides. The support's a very, very different setup that we've got here. The Zenyatta on the side of Farnborough is actually going to come into play here for sure with this Roadhog on the opposite side. It should be interesting to see how these two match up.
I very much like this Wrecking Ball and Sigma composition. It allows the Wrecking Ball to roll off and find maybe some picks in the back line, especially on this map, maybe some environmental kills. It allows your Sigma to be the front line, allows your supports still to have that shield, especially when you're playing something as greedy as Baptiste. We'll see how that goes going into this first one.
It looks like a nice early pick from Gulescu onto, oh my god, there's a lot of strange names here. Thunder there, and another pick onto Alex G as well, just kicking it off early to take that point for the side of Kennet. The Wrecking Ball kind of rolling about on the backside as well early on, just kind of causing a little bit of havoc, and that's what we would like to see from Neon there, just to make sure that he's kind of keeping those players looking behind them. Door handle actually just picking up a nice early pick there, sort of pushing back in. Might look to flip this one a little bit early on into this fight.
Yeah, especially when you take out the Baptiste that early, when you've only got a Zenyatta left to heal. And nowhere near that ultimate as well, only 44% on that Transcendent. You're going to look to push this as fast as you can.
Majester with no real cooldowns there, and his team not quite back with him. They do flip the point to the side of Kennet. They have got a couple of big ults coming in as Wrecking Ball with Neon actually managed to get a nice pick onto Alex G, rolling through. Should be expecting those ones early on from the Wrecking Ball. Nice high noon from the backline here. He's able to take everybody below from door handle, but I'm not able to get those picks. Nice lamp out from Jellyfish, but he does get picked off because he's not inside it himself. A few pickups from Raccoon and Thick Bandito as well to make sure that they finish that fight.
Kennet cleaning this one up and slowly starting to roll up to equal that point presence so far. A lot of ultimates up on the board here, though. If you're the Harriers, you want to be able to push in. Maybe look to use this amplification matrix a little bit early if everyone's staying grouped up. But this could be it with the engage on the lines.
Early window from Jellyfish. Does manage to get plenty of damage through there before the beat comes out from Raccoon. They are having to back off here, and they haven't really got much to play with. So they are already 3 down, looking to chase down Bandito on that hog. Door handle handing back a nice little kill onto Polydrich as well.
Yeah, that was something we were really looking for there. We mentioned about using that amplification matrix to get everyone's damage ramped right up. And those mines as well, really zoning the enemy, actually getting a pick as well. A really nice pick coming in.
Real early pick as well. It's just kind of taking away that time bank a little bit more from them to get back onto point. And it's really good use of ultimates there to kind of ensure that they just use 1 or 2 ults to prevent them from having to use overuse. An early grab flux in from Jester manages to get them all very low, but a nice stamp out, and Nano Visor coming out from Thundery Hell forces the transcendence from Circe. They are looking at a fairly even fight so far as it goes backwards and forwards with these picks. Trixie looking for that pick onto the Reinhardt, unable to do so far. They found themselves in a bit of a tough position. This door handle kind of continues his reign of terror on the left-hand side. High Noon into the backline as well, picks up Jellyfish as well. Fantastic stuff from him. And a nice boot onto Raccoon to answer back. It's just back and forth this fight.
It really is.
This
coming in so handy for the side of Harriers, and we'll see whether they can continue.
Amber has been very good and clinical with their ultimate so far. They are just able to hold on to it a little bit longer. They might be able to clinch this one. Bandico getting the last minute touch onto the point. Rock out onto him. Nice beating from Raccoon. It's very much desperation time now for Kenneth. They aren't quite able to get the Lucio off the map. Neon and Gulisku is able to pick up a couple of early picks onto the tank lines and able to force them off the point and secure that first one.
Yeah, very well played throughout that series. Very scrappy towards the end, but it is eventually cleaned up there by the by the Harriers. Very well played throughout, and like I said about rotating these ults through, making sure that they're getting the amplification matrix out so that everyone else can build up their ultimates, and it's really nice to see. I'll have to see what Kenneth can bring in on this one. It does look like they're going to opt for brawl-style compositions that we've seen quite a lot of recently. The Lucio and the Ana and the Ana as well, with this Wrecking Ball rolling through, it's fairly easy to land the sleeps on them. Should see a fairly strong push.
And Neon's been very disruptive in that backline with that Wrecking Ball, getting a couple of nice boops off into the pit there early on as well. As he does again slam into the backline, does get slept up and antied. There's no cooldowns now for Ana, so I'd be looking for Kenneth to be Farnborough to be able to push in earlier here. Nice boot forward from Neon. Are they able to capitalize on that? They are. They managed to pick up both Raccoon and Thundery Hell.
Yeah, this Discord orb though, putting out, allowing so much damage to be put out. But that Discord orb on the Zarya absolutely got melted by this one.
Hey there.
Gonna have to ask Polytrich for some tips on McCree, because my McCree in that last game is absolutely pants.
Hello.
So I'll be asking him for some help next when he's off for sure. Looking to take the high ground nice and early here. Ash looking to back off to make sure that she doesn't get picked off early. Neon is just absolutely pummeling in the damage. They're looking to set up for a nice fight.
Rotation allows a lot of damage, especially something like Ash landing dynamite over the top, taking so much ult charge. Has the bomb available, and if they can look a little bit early here, the Sigma Shield does fall, so you can see Kenneth looking to push this one in here.
Polytrich is getting another big pick off there early on onto Thundery Hell. Anti in onto Gulisku. Does manage to get the bob off beforehand, and the beat out coming from Raccoon is trying to push them back the opposite way as they do manage to pick up 2 on the side of Kenneth Clan. It's a grab flux in from Jester. He's probably going to be able to get 2 out of that. Shrixie takes advantage of being up in the air, takes out 2 with one fell swoop, sends them back to the Shadow Realm so they can respawn.
Yeah, Neon pushing all the way up to the enemy spawn. You'd love to see this, trying to catch these late staggers, trying to stop them getting any presence on the point. Up to 70% already, and they do still have the defensive transcendence. No Graviton even built yet, and Neon just playing so aggressive, feeling like he can play all the way up to this enemy spawn.
Lovely little bit of tech there to kind of jump slightly off the high ground to ensure that you can get that slam onto the bulk of their team. He's building up these mines quite quickly as well. Raccoon getting ever so low, does manage to get picked off. Both supports going down the side of Kenneth.
Yeah, when you're playing with a wrecking ball like this, and especially with how accurate these hit scans are, you can end fights before they even begin.
Shatter not able to go off, and the visor getting shut down too. It's just all falling apart for Kenneth. Plan here. High noon just to make sure nobody can get to the point, and that's going to be first map going to Farnborough.
Yeah, that's a clean 2-0. Very, very well played by the Harriers there. Cleaning up, and it's just these hit scans that are able to put out so much damage and end fights before they even begin. We see Polytrich, one that we mentioned on the McCree, playing very, very well throughout, and this soldier immediately picked off, and then this is the Zarya we mentioned about as soon as you put that Discord orb on, he's completely getting crushed. Very, very well played there throughout that series.
Very, very clean from door handle. 43% of the team hero damage. That's a lot of damage he's been pumping into the enemy team. And a special mention to Raccoon there for some great beats throughout that as well.
Yeah, the supports were incredibly strong on both sides. They really don't get enough credit for the work that they do. We do like to mention the tanks and the DPS because they're the ones pulling off these really flashy plays. But those beats, the damage boost coming in as well, putting out so much for the to actually be able to pop off. We will be heading over to Eichenwald for the next one. So be interesting to see what compositions we see on this one. We saw a bit of the Sigma and Wrecking Ball. We saw a bit of the Brawl compositions. I feel like, despite how much we don't want to see it, as we head on.
Yeah, it should be interesting to see if they opt for that more meta pick. Although I have been enjoying seeing Neon on that Wrecking Board. Definitely a standout player so far, even despite the hit scan doing a fantastic job. Just that disruption into the backline, just enabling his team to be able to pop off nice and early. It'd be interesting to see what the Kenneth decide to do in terms of response to that. Whether they look to go for a little bit more lockdown, maybe some hard CC to be able to stop that Wrecking Ball from moving about so freely and causing so many issues. But yeah, this next map should be interesting.
Yeah, definitely. I'm after seeing the Baptiste composition set up on that first point. I'm fully expecting them to run at that support line, maybe even sticking with that double hit scan, the McCree and the Ash working so well. And then I feel like the tanks are going to move over. We're not going to see Neon playing the Wrecking Ball here. Probably see him move over to the Orisa, maybe even the Reinhardt to go with the Sigma. Especially for the defense on Eichenwald, you can hold so well around that middle bell tower, and we'll see how they can look to hold this. Look at the next match.
You mentioned double shield. Sorry, I was taking notes there. Usually we cut to you guys, so I'm going to be a bit more casual. For Kree, it was kind of like a bit of a Kree versus Kree throughout both those maps. It looked like that a door handle was popping off, and then Polytrich just came back in that second round and was just clicking heads and taking B. I'm not sure whether they were dealing with the ball very well. I know we'll come back to it in a little bit. Do you think they were dealing with the ball? Do you think the ball was the problem?
I feel like, personally, with a Wrecking Ball especially, as soon as you start dedicating resources towards that Wrecking Ball, that's when they become quite the problem. They made the swap over to the Ana, and we saw that on that first engage when we moved over to Shrine. The sleep came in, the anti-nade came in, but then there was no more CC to actually lock up that Wrecking Ball, and he was able to escape. But from after that, they were able to engage repeatedly with that Wrecking Ball, and because everyone is turning around, these hit scan can then just come in and they can absolutely eviscerate the team before they've even managed to take care of the Wrecking Ball.
Yeah, probably. What needs to change? I mean, it looked so close in that first round, and then the second one, it just seemed to get away from him a little bit.
Yeah, the second one definitely was kind of really highlighting the weaknesses of their team there. Maybe look to kind of get in and make these early fights happen rather than taking so much chip damage early on. Maybe looking to swap it up for a Lucio if they're not going to go for the hard CC onto Bull. Get in with Lucio and kind of just brawl it out with the front line instead. Because they're going to be one shield or one, Zaya, whatever. Their main tank is not going to have that kind of support that it usually would. when you have like a Xayah or a Diva working alongside them. So yeah, definitely maybe look to get them in and kind of pushing earlier.
Yeah, I saw Joe smirk a little bit as you mentioned Lucio there, because we all know that he's a big fan. Where is he? I knew he was coming. There he is.
Go.
There he is. I did have a Zen one around somewhere, but I'm not sure he's run off. He's run off somewhere. He's discorded
Like
somewhere.
this, perhaps.
Oh, there you go. I mean, you've got the Zen as well. You're just beating me anyway. Fine. Beat me on shirts. Beat me on collectibles. We're going into the next map. It's Eichenwald. Hopefully, we'll see a little bit more competitiveness from both teams. Although it has been close so far. I'll leave you guys back to the casters.
Yeah, and we are here on Eichenwald. This impressive structure will be home to our second round. So I'm very much looking forward to see what these teams look to bring out on.
Yes, thank God that both of you said the name of the map first, so I didn't get this one wrong as well. I managed to mess that one up a little bit. But yeah, I'd be interested to see if these guys opt for a little bit more of a static comp, what with the first point being a little bit more easily defendable, should we say, with nice corners, as we do see the Baptiste that can really take advantage of those corners, like in the church steeple. I think it's a church steeple anyway. That's what I call it. You can chuck the lamp in there and get a little bit more of a kind of protection for it, more value out of it.
Yeah, I wasn't expecting to see the brawl composition here. I wasn't expecting the Ryan and the Zarya, as I mentioned before, but they can definitely make it work. They're running the double hit scan on both sides, which again wasn't to be expected. Maybe not especially on the attack, but we'll see how they can stack up with this Wrecking Ball. If they can roll through and look to get some sort of disruption, then I feel like that's how they break open this attack, especially.
An early bubble usage, and Ryan just doesn't have enough shield. There's a fantastic anti and pick onto him from Jellyfish. Is able to get absolutely eviscerate them, and that just opens the gates for the rest of the team to push through and deal with the rest of the team. It just completely fell apart as soon as that happened.
Yeah, once again, that Wrecking Ball coming in from behind and being able to knock every single person forward, especially that Reinhardt displacing them massively, allows the anti-nade to come in as soon as he turns to try and block the Reinhardt from behind. And that just leads to them getting locked up. The Wrecking Ball actually getting environmental on the other side.
Wyke has even used ult and manages to get out on a slither of HP as well, as they do pick up another onto Thick Bandito, and these bombs are able to pick up another as well, as both the tank line just goes down, and they're able to kind of push through this first challenging point where you got the high ground kind of an ability to be able to kind of take advantage of that on the defense side of things.
Yeah, it's beautifully set up, and this Wrecking Ball especially playing so aggressive and being allowed to play that aggressive, and I feel like that's the problem, as we mentioned in the break. Looking at this next fight though, not a lot of ultimates on the board, but Jellyfish does have that nano boost. I am fully expecting that nano boost to go over onto Neon on the Wrecking Ball. Not so much for the damage, but for the added healing, playing in very aggressively and immediately getting so much healing off.
You managed to get an early pick off on the side of Kenneth the Clown, but unfortunately unable to keep that going, as the Farnborough Harriers get a nice slam onto the high ground. The Neon just running rampage in the back line. They do commit a late window into this one. Just managed to get 2 picks actually with quite quick succession, but it's not going to be enough. But it might pave the way for the rest of the team, who are now respawning, to come back in and get a few picks themselves. They do have Grav Flux if they do want to commit to it on the side of Farnborough. They are going to, as they commit the nano as well onto Neon. He gets flashed out of it though. Thick Fang Deco manages to sell himself off the sideline there. Neon just in the back line, just taking out both the supports, as Jester picks out Alex G as well as counterpart on the main tank. They're just falling apart. It looked like they might have been able to get something there, but just unfortunately fell apart as soon as the ults came.
Yeah, I feel like the commitment there from Jester, using that Gravitic Flux and pushing right up into the enemy when he knows that McCree has the flashbang that can potentially pull him out of his ultimate. I feel like that is maybe putting a little bit of disrespect on the opponents here, but the Graviton is committed into the shield.
That's an absolute unfortunate ult there from Thundery Hell. I'm sure they're not going to be happy with that one. Bob into the backline does pick up Diana as well. They are Arbitanzel back with one, and a Transcendence from Farnborough are going to see themselves through this last corner and navigate them round to the final stretch. Tracer trying her best to kind of stay on point. I think Van Nico unfortunately going to be taken out. Strixie's had a fantastic game. It's not something we mentioned too much apart from the Discords, but had a great game so far. Nano into onto the Rhine as a High Noon comes out on top. Unfortunately, unable to pick anybody up, but does take Jester low, and Vic Van Nico finishes him off. Ryan just swinging out. They might be able to hold it here as Thundery Hound picks up another one onto the support line. And Anonymous kicking very low. Very aggressive. Nice sleep from Jellyfish, going to be able to see himself out.
Yeah, very, very nice sleep there over onto the Tracer, allowing that Anna to get out. And very nice pick over there. This Ashe playing so well. This combination of the Ashe and McCree is you've got a lot of damage up close, and then your Ashe able to sit back the dynamite value as well. Very nice flashbang coming in and allows that wrecking ball to fall, so possibly ending this fight before it
do get a pick up onto the Reinhardt as well, and they have used Lamp on the side of the Kenneth clan. They are going to commit window into this one as well, as they do find a nice pick onto door handle. And they just, looks like Farnborough just going to take it a little bit steady. They know they've got the ult advantage, I imagine, and they can push in kind of when they want. They've got plenty of ults to go with it. Does get slept out of the ground flux, and a big High Noon coming in from Polytrich to kind of back him up and ensure that they do get those kills. Slam into the back line from Alex G, but he's just splashed out of... unable to get anybody before he dies. And the rest of the team just flooding onto the point.
Really nice nano there over onto Polytrich, and with how well they've been playing throughout the series, no surprise, that's 3 picked up, the Immortality Field and 2 picks with Neon's Mine, but 2 minutes 50 in the bank. A very, very dominant time bank there for the side of the Harriers. So they played very, very well on their attack, but can they replicate that on the defense? I feel like they're going to need to switch up the composition to do so, though. Playing the Wrecking Ball and Sigma on defense may leave them quite vulnerable.
It might be a bit of a change to the support line, potentially, we might see, to enable them to continue that. Although saying that, the Discord has just worked out so fantastically for them so far. I'm not sure if they will. I think they're might go for the if it ain't broken, don't fix it kind of angle. But they do change it. Sirixi going on to the Mercy instead, as we suggested they might do. They're going to stick with that DPS line of McCree and Ashe, as we do see Neon. Maybe just hinting, maybe he's going to change.
Perhaps looking to swap there. I feel like it would be clearly very confident playing this Wrecking Ball, especially defense here. But looking at the attacking side, if they are going to stick on this, it's going to be very hard for them to get value. You've got Sombra there, who is able to hack him out and force him into that crab walking form. You've got the Genji there being able to reflect so much of the damage as well as the Anna sleep, and then you have the bubbles from Zarya. You're going to get to give over so much energy. If we can see Kenneth play this right, I'm expecting actually this composition to work very, very well into the composition the Harriers have been running so far.
Yeah, we talked a little bit in the break about how a bit more mobility might be the solution to the problem that they're having, but as we say that, Gulisgu manages to get a pick off on the door handle. They are looking to hack an anti-Neon, who is able to find themselves out of the trouble and back to his team. They're looking to put a bit of pressure here, but they need to kind of get a bit moving as they are exposed, especially with this Rhine Shield getting so low. Raccoon not able to stay alive to help his team. Looks like they're going to continue to commit onto the point here. As they do actually manage to pick up a couple of picks, but they're on to 2 very mobile heroes that probably find themselves back before they can get into the next fight.
Yeah, I feel like the Harriers, the way they come back into this is definitely with that damage boost. Putting out so much value as Polytrich finds 2 on the other on the point and manages to clean that one up. As we said about this damage boosted Ashe, just take a look at her ultimate charge compared to everybody else in the lobby. This dynamite is getting so much value as they do get picked over by the soldier, but you're going to be coming back with an ultimate up, and it doesn't look like anyone else is even going to be close.
Neon switching on to that Orisa now, kind of committing to the double shield to ensure that they have that proper lockdown bunker-esque position to play. So it's all going to be on that EMP potentially to break this first point, I should imagine, as they use Lamp very early, and Nano onto Alex G, who does manage to pick up Jellyfish. Couldn't land that sleep. Does get a nice charge into the backline onto Neon. As there's a third pick onto Polytrich as well. Fantastic stuff from him. And they do get this first point as soon as they get rid of this pesky ass. It's been dealing so much damage. They do have a couple of ultimates still to spare. They didn't have to use that EMP to break.
Yeah, that's an absolutely massive thing here. Not using that EMP and being able to use it to continue the snowball. You have Shatter available. You have that amplification matrix as well, which we've spoken about, being able to use that to cycle through ultimates. I'm expecting this to continue with a snowball if they can get it rolling. But the positional advantage that Harriers have here on this high ground with these shields could prove devastating.
Yeah, you don't really tend to get so much value out of Soldier majority of the time when you've got facing into a double shield like this. You just kind of find yourself shooting into shields. So it'd be interesting to see if he stays on there. I did try and get behind them. Unfortunately, wasn't able to pick up anybody before he was shielding off. Ash just raining damage from the top right, unable to pick anybody yet. But like you say, the Harriers just have such a fantastic positional advantage here. If Kennet can actually manage to kind of sneak this under the arch, they might be in a good position. But as we say that, there is a nice flux out from Jester. Does manage to pick up Thundery Hell, and a bongo as well from Neon is going to ensure they have the extra damage to finish off the rest of the team. As Shrixie and Polytrix do manage to take out the tank and support line as well. It's a bit back and forth, but it looks like Harrier's going to be able to stick on to this one as Neon cleans up.
Yeah, surprised Vic Bandico there doesn't get revealed on the Sombra running into the back of Neon on the way out. But it is going to be, going to see the Harriers holding this position very, very well, whittling away the time bank. But again, looking at these ults, you have so many ults available. You're coming up on 6 for the side of Kennet, and not so many on the other side. Slight overcommitment maybe, using that supercharger right at the end of the fight. We'll have to see how that plays off going into this.
A nice EMP catches 6. Unbelievable stuff, but Thick Bandico unfortunately was on his own. Unable to find anything else with it, although saying that, door handle with a nano visor into the backline, managed to pick up 2. Can he find a third? Can do so. Is able to find the Mercy, almost very, very low on the side of Shrixie. Does get the res off onto Ghoulish Goo, but aside from that, door handle just floating around trying to make sure that he doesn't die. They are able to push it almost to the second point.
Down goes Ash with the bob thrown right up to the point, holding it 10 centimeters away. The anti comes in,
Great
and
stuff.
somehow, some way, 10 centimeters away.
Oh!
Take
That was a snipe. Unbelievable. Great stuff from them. But yeah, like you said, that last minute, just before the Ash died, Ghoulish Goo throwing out that Ash really did make a big change there. Swinging things. Not many ults coming into this next fight. We do have a little bit of an ult advantage on Farnborough, as they are coming up on Bongo as well as the High Noon and Nano. Be interested to see how that goes. Doorhandler has managed to pick someone off, but there's a Nano High Noon into the backline. Fantastic sleep from Anonymous. Unbelievable stuff. Do use the window as well to ensure that they can get the damage out. They do lose both the tanks now. Oh no, sorry. Jester is still alive. They haven't got any sort of flux here. You might be able to force the side of Farnborough off of the the side of Kennet off the point if he decides to commit it. Not going to use it though, as Neon comes back in. Nice ult into the backline. Slam into the backline, and they managed to force the 2 supports out of position to get picked off.
40 seconds left on the clock. You're getting very close to another nano boost coming up, and also you have this tactical visor online as well. Reinhardt can maybe build a slam, but you're going into a gravitic flux and also a Valkyrie. Having that whole team being able to damage boost when everyone's lifted up in the air, basically defenseless, sorry. And that rock removing Alex is so crucial looking at this.
Another crucial sleep coming out from Jellyfish. just manages to deny that tactical visor, which was
That's the round.
so crucial. Harriers do take that one quite convincingly on that second point.
Yeah, very, very, very well played there. And Alex G does manage to get the play. This is probably this nano boosted Reinhardt to cap that first point. In it comes, chasing down the Ana. There's one. You're then going to see him charge from Narnia to pin the Orisa, removing her from the game. And there's McCree thinking that they can step up, especially when you're hacked. You're not going to do anything against the nano boosted Reinhardt.
It's all red across the board in terms of the player cards as well. Alex G, the only one that's breaking that mold. Fantastic stuff from all of them there. That definitely felt a little bit more close early on. It seemed like Kennet were probably getting a little bit more of a kind of a flow going, but it kind of just fell apart towards that second point.
Yeah, definitely. Very, very well played from both teams throughout, though.
Well, yep, 2-0 up. Kennet, I think, probably possibly struggling a little bit with Orion Zarya. You know, there's some maps where they absolutely shines. Some of the Lijiang maps, King's Row obviously is a classic. But when you've got a lot of high ground and quite a lot of distance to cover, Ryan's shields don't last very long in the open. And possibly that was a bit of a problem that they had moving in. I guess there was lots of DPS kind of flips again, as we saw in the first map. But I did make a note at the end, Jelly sleeps, or sheeps, as Puppy said. Two crucial ones. One on a dead eye, I believe, or that might have been
Very,
the other way
very
around.
nice.
Yeah. And then again on the soldier, just keeping their DPS under control. We saw a bit of ball again. Neon was kind of swapping onto it and off it a little bit, and then we saw the lovely double shield, which we all love. But I guess double shield versus Ryan Zarya, especially when you get to point B. Joe, what do you think's the problem that Kennet were having getting up there?
Getting up to the point, the issue was the amount of spam damage that they were running into. Unfortunately, going to bring up again, if you're playing Brawl compositions into double shield, you need a Lucio. Walking into this spam with just as slow as Reinhardt is going to walk with his shield up, you're not going to be able to get up there by the time that Reinhardt shield is broken. It doesn't have as much HP as it used to, and you can't just rely on your Zarya to be able to bubble you time. Also, you're then not providing any shielding for the rest of your team. You have the Lucio and you're able to speed into the enemy team, however, especially when you pop that nano boost onto the Reinhardt as well. Cleaning up, we saw just how effective that Reinhardt could be. Maybe if you had the Lucio, you can get in there a little bit earlier and not have to play against such a high time bank.
Well, that was the problem. They were kind of getting stuck, even just before they even got to A. Before Kennet managed to get to A, they were getting spammed out. Ryan's shield wasn't lasting very long. He did get nanoed and was swinging to his heart content to get a few kills. But again, that's when they were at points. They didn't need to hold shield quite as much. It was just that problem getting there. He hasn't been mentioned a couple of times yet, but I felt like he was doing quite a lot of work. Was Jester Sigma, and I guess it kind of weighs up the differences between Ryan and Sigma when you're face to face, when you're being able to spam from that far away, with Ryan not being able to get close enough without Alicia to boost you in. How do you think Sigma was playing? I guess how do you think Jester was playing in that map there, Puppy?
Definitely, absolutely great stuff from Jester. A couple of really, really nice snipes with the snipes of the rocks to kind of show off just how well he understands the hero and the trajectory of that rock. I don't think I've ever seen such a precision like that before. But the one thing definitely needs to be mentioned is that with Neon sort of playing that wrecking ball a lot of the time, it really does fall to Jester to manage that shield really, really well. That means kind of rotating through their abilities, the kinetic, I think it's called. I've got that
Yes.
right. And also the shield as well, just ensuring that they can keep that shield from breaking. So yeah, a lot of the time you didn't really see a lot of downtime with the shield breaking. Maybe that's the side of the Kennet clan to put a bit more pressure on potentially. But he just seemed to be able to run the show really from that position. And some great graviton fluxes Graviton Flux, is that the word?
Gravitic.
Yes.
Yeah, Gravitic Flux.
We'll give you that one.
Close enough.
So many different names. His kit is so strange, but yeah. But he did get stepped out of a couple of them as well. So it's a bit of a mixed bag from Jester, but definitely the early fights on defense and the later fights on attack were the real standout points for me.
Well, we're heading to Havana, so I will let the production guy transition you out, but I will leave you with this parting message. Ryan Zarya probably isn't going to work, especially on Havana. Are we going to be seeing double shield?
Very likely.
Double shield,
think.
very, very likely on this map. Also, a possibility for a little bit of dive on attack. Should be interesting to see how this team stack up. There's also the possibility of not really played as much anymore, but running the hyper aggressive, holding the enemy team at the actual spawn doors. It's still a valid strat, being able to play so aggressive, and maybe it's the only way that you can make Ryan Zarya actually work on this map. You can't really be taking so much damage from snipers if they can't even step outside of their own spawn.
Yeah, they need to kind of force the fight onto them, really. Like you say, either taking that early positional advantage or waiting and kind of holding this sort of back position on this corner. It doesn't look like they're going to go for the former, maybe more like the latter. So they definitely look like they feel more comfortable on the Ryan Zarya, as we do see Polytrich come up on that Widow to see if they get any early pickoffs. Onto the Ashe, does manage to hit the tree. Second shot not so good either. Ashe does take the hint and drops back off.
Yeah, playing Widow, especially on this map, having such long sightlines throughout the entire map, really allows this aggressive play. But I'm liking the dive that's coming out here from Neon and Jester, seeing another side of this team that we haven't seen throughout. But honestly, I think I would prefer him on the Wrecking Ball. The Winston, not really going to be able to get a huge amount of value compared to the Wrecking Ball, especially on Havana, as Warhandle gets a really nice opening pick.
Nice DM there from Jester to ensure that the flashbang didn't disrupt the res. Does manage to get a nice pick off onto Polytrich. The rest of his team unfortunately falling apart as we do see the Ana go down to Neon. High Noon from door handle. Unable to find anything with it, but does manage to bring the mech low enough so that Alex G can take one swing at it and pop her out of that mech. The rest of the team unable to really take that cover, and Thick Bandico does get a nice little pick onto Gula's Goo towards the end. May sort of pave the way towards a recontest here.
Door handle very, very low, and manages to get a pick over onto Jester before they can get remeked, actually. That's probably actually going to open this up as the nano boost does come in. Neon looking to play very aggressive.
He pops the Primal Rage as well, just to kind of ensure that he can kill off a few more of these supports as well going down. Nice charge in from Alex G to ensure that he doesn't get any more value out of that Primal Rage, but Neon's just had enough. Says goodbye, good night to the tank line as well.
Yeah, you can really tell that this Harriers team has played this sort of composition before and how well and how much they actually trust each other. Neon going into a 2v4 there with Jellyfish on that Ana, getting the nano boost and putting out so much damage on that Winston, knowing that he has the Primal Rage that he can pop to instantly increase his health up to 1,000 as well. Gets charged, gets all the CC there. So much value coming in. Neon clearly very, very comfortable on this Winston. Absolutely massive amounts of mechanical skill, being able to land these leaps and get that splash damage off as well. Something that a lot of people really overrate on Winston.
For sure, and I think that shows just how much confidence that Neon has in his support line, as both Sorixi and Jellyfish have had done a fantastic job of it so far. It looks to peel for Gula's Goo, but unfortunately able to keep them alive. And nice anti-nade in from Anonymous to keep Thick Bandico from going down to that dive from Neon. They are looking to take up a little bit more of an aggressive position, as this Diva's kind of caught a little bit out of position potentially on her own. Zarya pumping a lot of damage into the mech. Jester able to get out though. The tank line of Farnborough Harrier is a little bit split there, and they do manage to get a nice charge off onto Neon, but Polytrich bounces back. A nice pick onto Raccoon. Thick Bandico again answering back. It's backwards and forwards at the moment. I think without these tanks sort of playing off on the sidelines, it is a bit of a free-for-all.
Yeah, with Kennet as well, being able to win this neutral fight, not committing any ults. They actually have 6 ultimates to play with. Neon only 5% as well off. The Harriers can pull in their ults as well. As the Nano Boost comes in onto Winston, and he's playing hyper aggressive again.
Yeah, he managed to get that Primal Rage off just before he gets charged as well. They do pop the Nano onto the Reinhardt as well, so he can front them up a little bit better. But unfortunately, with one of the supports, both the supports now going down for Kennet, it's not looking good for them. As the Ryan has got nowhere to go.
Like to see that Reinhardt not look to charge away there, just try and get maybe a short pin. He does already have his ult, but a little bit of damage coming in there, especially if he's looking to recontest.
Oh no.
I say trying to recontest, but when you get your head clean taken off by Polytrix, there's not really a lot that you can do there. Neon emoting on the point.
Nice shatter in from Alex G, but he does get slept out of it. Another great sleep from Jellyfish. He's a bit backwards and forwards right now, but it looks like they may be able to take it for the side of Farnborough, as Polytrix kind of left uncontested on this high ground, and they do commit the Bob into the backline as well. It's worth noting that Gudisgu actually did die so early on there. Probably didn't need to contest, as they did have Bob up to throw out as well.
Yeah, still have this Graviton Surge available for the Zarya. Been holding on to that one for a while. I feel like this is something that a lot of Zaryas do. You don't need to land these big 6-man Gravitons every time. Sometimes just finding 2 is enough, especially when it's a key person. Someone like, if you get onto which could I make it maybe thinking more like Gudisgu, playing a little bit more aggressive on the Ashe, but even if you're just looking at Neon and Jester, if you can lock both of them up and take them out early in a fight, you should be able to win, as we saw them do earlier. They managed to hold on the second point, took out both the tanks, and they're able to roll through the rest of them.
Yeah, they're really just struggling to take any kind of advantage in terms of position in here for the side of Kennet. Only really able to kind of stay a little bit more static, as fortunately Alex G has a turn around to try and stop himself dying from the bomb, but does get picked off by Strixie, who's in the backline. Does manage to get picked off himself. Strixie maybe get a little bit too ahead of themselves, although saying that, they are just kind of trickling at this point, and it doesn't look like they're going to be able to stop this. Oh, saying that, they do get a bob, nice bob in, and Neon swapped over to this Wrecking Ball now themselves, and they do get a grab off, which is relatively nice. Gets both the tanks in there, but unfortunately there's nobody able to kind of put the damage in there, and they do push it through the 3rd point.
Yeah, so they do manage to clean that one up and manage to push in quite a consistent. Thank you. Seconds left on the clock. Again, I want to pull it back to that Graviton. Yeah, you lock up both tanks there, as we mentioned. Else on it, I didn't quite catch it, but also opt that Graviton when the majority of your team's dead and you're not able to capitalize on it. So I'd like to have seen that grab coming out a little bit earlier, trying to prevent a fight. Again, if you're blocking 1, 2 up, if you get rid of them, you're able to then turn the fight in your favor. Hopefully we can see something a little bit more aggressive coming out from Kennet on their attack. But someone as well that I really, really want to mention, not really been getting, well, been getting a little bit of credit throughout. Trixie, Surexi, however you want to pronounce it, on this Zenyatta for the Harriers. Absolute dominance on this Zen. We saw them playing characters throughout. They're moving over to the Mercy to provide that damage boost for Guzgu. But really has been the keynote for this team. This Discord, and everyone being able to jump on that Discord immediately, and when it's on these tanks that absolutely melt it.
Opting for the double sniper this time for the side of the Harriers. Would be interesting to see if they can get any picks, especially since we've been talking so much about Kennet not being able to take space early on. Door handle just managed to sneak up on the Ashe there, maybe not quite expecting the Reaper to be quite up in their face so soon. Nice early pick there. See if they can capitalize on it. They are getting good payload progression so far, as we do see Neon slam into the backline. Does prompt a charge out from Alex G. Does leave this team a little bit exposed thanks to that charge. And Polytrix and Jellyfish just throwing out some fantastic shots. Unbelievable stuff from Polytrix to get that timed absolutely perfectly as well.
Yeah, very, very well played throughout here, especially for bot. But you've got to consider, if you're on the side of Kenneth, maybe you need to make a composition swap it. We've seen them throughout defaulting to this Ryan's area composition, but when you're playing into these double snipers, you're getting so much spam down. Got Neon now moving over to the Zarya as well, so much damage going to come through from Jester on that Sigma, which we highlighted in the break before this map. How well Jester's been playing throughout as well. It's really worrying here if you are on the side of Kenneth that you're not making any swaps.
Yeah, they're just opting to kind of stay with this Ryan Zarya at the moment, and it's just really not working for them. And the DPS, unfortunately, able to kind of get much done themselves either. I know that the supports, especially during that last fight, Anonymous had to use nade early there just to kind of keep themselves alive from the pressure that Gudasgu was putting from the sidelines. They're really looking to put a lot of angled plays coming in from the side of Harriers, with the Widowmaker playing that long sight line straight down the middle, and Gudasgu playing the top left-hand side. This is a bit of a better approach now from Kenneth Clan as we go into this next fight. They do have a lot of ultimates to play with, but so do the Harriers as well. Nano boost into Neon. He's going to look to pressure out Thundery Hell. He does manage to get picked off as well. Nice nade in from Anonymous. Alex G charged in, unfortunately able to get anybody with that, and does die. They are going to commit window into that one, do pick off Jellyfish on that support, but they do pop Ace. Srixie does pop the Transcendence as well, just to make sure that with the Ana now gone, they do have enough healing to keep themselves alive. It's back to spawn.
Yeah, it's definitely worrying, like how Thunder has been on the Zarya throughout the entire of the attack, and Neon swapped after quite a while playing a Wrecking Ball to start with. It's actually overtaken them on the ultimate charge. That really shows how this team has not been able to get close enough in this area to be effective. And really, it has to do with, I've said it once and I'll say it 1,000 more times, you're playing a Brawl composition, you need to be playing a Lucio. Baptiste is so strong with that immortality, but you're having to pop it so early because of the amount of spam coming through. And you're just seeing the Harriers absolutely decimating.
They just didn't have the space really to be able to do much. They used their lamp very early there from who was it, Raccoon, I believe. Unfortunately, onto the cart, nobody could really capitalize on its positioning, and the visor was easily shut down as they just didn't have space to be able to get any kind of picks with it. They do switch over to the Fire Mercy now, but you got to wonder if it's too little too late. Nice sleep onto Gudasgu, but a grab into the backline is going to pick up two of them. Anna and the Farah going down, and Zen managed to pick up the Flying Mercy. That's a great shout from him, and a grab Flux into the backline, just shutting them all down. That's going to be the end of Kenneth Clan. Farnborough Harriers take the win.
Yeah, very well played by the Harriers throughout, and denying all of that space and allowing them to absolutely crush this man. Polytrich very deservedly getting the play of the game on this Widowmaker. We see right at the end here, manages to take out McCree. Despite getting the high noon off a second earlier, would have been nice, but taking out that high charge Zarya and then cleaning up Raccoon on that Baptiste. Very well played throughout from everyone, really. But very clearly, Polytrich making the difference on that Widowmaker.
Wow. Barbara get a 3-0 clean sweep, as some people have been saying in chat. There was a bit of spam, lots of people spamming the Harriers barriers. It seemed to have worked. I mean, the first map was pretty close, but it just seemed more and more dominant from the Harriers as the games went on. I guess we have to keep coming back to Ryan Zarya, who's a great combo in lots of maps, and even in maps where they're not the best picks, you can sometimes do really well. I just feel that the space that was being taken by the Ryan Zarya on the side of Kenneth just wasn't being kept because they were getting spammed out too much. And Joe, you're holding him. What do you think they needed?
I feel like it's going to be a bit of a call out of left field here. I've not mentioned it before, but maybe if the Baptiste was to move over to relatively new character to the game, Lucio. So one of the key parts of this new character's kit is his speed boost aura. That allows people that are around him to move a lot more quickly, and especially when you combine it with his E ability, Amp It Up, increases that speed boost even further. Relatively new character, not really been played much, so maybe try them out in your games when you're playing a brawl composition, and it'd be lovely to see this Lucio character being able to create a little bit more space.
Definitely no cynicism whatsoever. We'll move on. I think that there was a lot of times when Farnborough had quite a lot of opportunities to maybe make that a more tougher clean sweep, a more clearer clean sweep, where their snipers were having quite an open and uncontested shoot down Main Street, as they say, where the healers for Kennet were kind of out of position. I guess because there wasn't any space being taken in the front, so they couldn't go anywhere other than backwards or into line of sight. What do you think I guess to you, Puppy, what comp do you think could have helped? And I know it does come back to how much a player's played them and how much experience and how confident they are in those players. But if we think about just comps for other people who might have similar problems when they go into their own comp games, what comp would be good against Double Sniper? Keeping in mind they also had the Sigma as well to do a little bit of POs.
I feel like you either need to switch up the tanks to a more dive composition with a Winston Diva, or you can try and match them. You can even keep the Ryan Zaya if you wanted to, and just switch out for a Hanzo, Ash, Widowmaker, anything to kind of put a little bit more pressure on the enemy snipers to ensure that they're not able to get, like you said, the free reign just to shoot down Main Street. I think you said was the term you said. Yeah, so they just needed to kind of something to be able to contest them. If that was the tanks or if that was the DPS, then it needs to make changes.
And I guess speaking about some of the comps for the heroes that both teams were playing, Kennet were kind of really hoping, really trying to get a soldier to work. Whether that was Bandico on the soldier, and then I think the DPS swapped roles a little bit briefly. Soldier isn't in a great place right now. Now, it doesn't mean that he can't be successful higher up. What do you think may have had a bit more of a higher impact, I guess, rather than the soldier to you, Joe, in terms of DPS?
I feel like the last minute swap that they made over to the pharmacy would have been a really good play. Being able to go around the left side instead, go through the building and then pop up, so you're not walking down that main street in the line of sight of those snipers. Being able to then get behind and spam out either one of the tanks or both, really would have been the option. Yes, they were playing two snipers, but if you play around the hard cover, being able to play around the buildings, and then you then force one of the snipers to take a duel with you, that's one less sniper that's firing at the other 5 members of your team. So even if you do end up dying, you're creating so much space and creating so much peel for your team. And it would have been nice to see that swap a little bit earlier.
Well, Kennet, I guess, are now on a 4-loss streak, so hopefully, I think they need to spend some time working on, maybe some different compositions, or just working on where they're making the problems. Now, I don't want to be talking them down too much because there's lots of different teams of different levels here. So going into I don't want to say next season because we're still in the qualifiers, but going into the spring season, probably going into Division 2, where they do have a game or two in hand, so they could creep up in Division 1. What do you think are going to be some of their main points that we need to be focusing on, Puppy, to start off with, I guess?
I think it's definitely they're where they're committing a lot of their resources. So, are they looking to take that real brawly upfront fight? Then they need to switch their comps up to suit that. If they're looking to kind of take a bit more of the off angle kind of pick sort of type plays, like we've seen it's worked so well in the past few times that we've casted. Something like a bit more like what the Harriers are playing would definitely suit a lot better. So I definitely feel like maybe think a bit more about how how your team synergize together in terms of the. I think we've mentioned it many times. The Ryan Zaya works well with the Lucio. The double snipers probably work quite well with some like double shields or even a Ryan Zaire if you're playing a little bit more of that long game as well. But yeah, I think that would be 1 point for me. And then the second point would be once you've got those picks, commit, commit, commit. At some of the times, you saw them, especially on Nepal, not Lijiang, they were stuck up on that high ground for 3 or 4 fights. I mean, it's a great decision to take that high ground in the first place because it reduces the angles that they had to shoot down upon them. But Neon, and I think I can't remember the Ash's name, were able to get so much splash damage before the fight even started. They were just kind of dilly dallying a little bit too much. And if they just kind of got themselves in and committed to the fight, they would have probably found it off a little bit better for them. Um, I don't really know if I can think of a third one. Really, I've racking my brains to think of it really, but the maybe a bit more about positioning as well. There's a couple of times I think we've mentioned with the supports being a little bit out of position. They looked better once they were forced into a position where they should have played, if you know what I mean. I think one time we saw the Anna having to commit a nade relatively early into the fight as they just took a little bit too much chip damage from the TNT and stuff like that. Whereas if they'd maybe taken a dip into that left hand side, as we were looking at it from a defense perspective, in underneath and they kept themselves out of the way of the snipers, then they would have had a bit more opportunity to use those abilities on the rest of the team. And very similar to how Mercy and I think ML7 said it once, where if you can see the enemy team, then you're not doing it right. So it's one of those, I think, positioning.
No, I'm a big ML7 fan. Definitely learned a lot. And for you guys who are trying to learn and improve, definitely watch out some of our higher streamers. You definitely learn a lot, but also watch back your own games because you can learn a lot about positioning, about awareness. Mechanical skill is only one element in all of that, and that just comes with practice. All of it does in some ways when investing some time. So I guess before we say goodbye to you guys, what kind of would be your go-to MVP for this match then? I'm going to kick off and probably say Neon. I think that he was causing quite a lot of trouble and getting away with it. Now, whether that's saying that he was playing really well or whether he just wasn't getting punished enough, I'm not too sure. But I think there was a couple of times where he was syncing quite well with, like you said, an Ash TNT, or I know on the inside map on Nepal, not Lijiang, Sigma got a massive flux, and he timed his rollout well enough to slam as they hit the ground. So I think his mechanical skill is quite high. He was getting quite a lot of kills, just disrupting and being a pain. Like, I don't want to say like Wrecking Ball should do. Nearly said something quite dodgy there, but I'm gonna go on to your own MVPs.
After you.
It's definitely going to be between Neon. I think it was Polytrich, was it as well? And
Polytrick, yeah.
for me, those two had a real fantastic game. As said by yourself, Servitude, Neon just being a pain in the bum in the back line, and Polytrich just great mechanical skill. But I think I'm going to go somewhere different. I think I'm going to go for the support line because I feel like the Harrier support line had an absolutely cracking game. Some real crucial sleeps and some real crucial nades and positioning wise, just always able to keep their tanks up. Neon, even when they got low on the first attack on Havana, Jellyfish, was able to keep them up. And for that reason, I feel like Jellyfish.
Nice.
And kind of following along the same line, I thought I'd be the only one going for the supports, but it's not Jellyfish in my eyes. It'd be Surexi on that Zenyatta. Played very, very well, even swapping over to the Mercy to combo well with the Ash, being able to put out that damage boost. And we even mentioned it on Iconbolt. The Ash was dead and already had her ult before anyone had even really hit 50%. So we all have gone for someone completely different. But I feel like that Zenyatta, those discords being timed really well, always having Transcendence up and knowing the enemy's win conditions, Graviton, Graviton Surge, Gravitic Flux, things like that being used and having the Transcendence ready for those, as well as the aggressive Transcendence when they want to push in and try and flush people out of an area, popping that and allowing their tanks just so much work. very, very well played throughout from everyone. But for me, it's Sirexi.
Well, we have a split decision, but I have spotted that Emma, who's one of the admins, has also said Neon, but at the same time now saying Sirixi. So I don't know. Maybe we'll have to let some of the admins decide, and then we'll post that briefly in chat. Anyway, I guess we should bring this to a close soon. We've only been casting a couple of times together, at
Yeah, it's
least.
only the second time.
How have you found it? I mean, it's been a couple of months, I guess. We've over a couple of months we've casted. How have you guys found it? Because I know that I've only been here since last year, and definitely got chucked in the deep end by doing the finals. But it's nice to have some more familiar faces, seeing a few people, even if they have a better shirt than me. How have you found? How have you found it so far?
I've really enjoyed it. It's been really nice to come in and feel like I can just slot straight in the team with you guys. Very nervous coming in last time. First time I've casted on such a big stage, really, and coming in and just having, I feel like having a really good casting duo to bounce off. Having you on the hosting's been really handy as well, being able to direct our slightly interesting topics, to say the least, when we've been talking through cosplay discussions rather than talking about the matches. But it's been really nice, and it's really really put me at ease. I've really enjoyed casting with you.
Nice.
I think you've pretty much said it all, to be honest. Yeah, it's been a great casting with you guys. Definitely enjoyed myself. And
Well, hopefully, if we get somebody new, they won't wear shirts that are better than mine. But thank you very much, both of you guys. It's been an absolute pleasure for today. It's been an absolute pleasure for the last few times we've casted. This will be the last time, I guess, we cast and see each other before Christmas. So have a fantastic Christmas. Hope you have a fantastic time with your family, whoever you can see. And thank you again to It's Joe and Puppy. Hopefully we'll see you after the Christmas break.
I really hope so too. Have a lovely Christmas.
I've just been told I'm single, which I hopefully I'm not, because my wife might be a little bit surprised. And I'm now being laughed in the ear. But thank you very much, everybody, for watching. It's been fantastic having you here today. Hopefully you enjoyed the matches. Just a quick reminder that on some of the schedules, hope the Snackos Friday, I think, is probably cancelled, unless there's any further notice or any further notifications for that. But we do have the roundup of all the championships next Wednesday. So make sure that you can drop by and see some highlights or some league standings and some discussions about how the leagues have gone so far in all three of our games. We also have next Friday a Christmas themed quiz run by Elliot. And if you are familiar to the channel, you'll be familiar to Elliot. He is not just the production guy in my ear. He has a face and he does a fantastic job. So also a big thank you to all the production team. As always, lots of people, I mean, just before we started, although we have a few people observing today, he said that there's a lot of people that make a production like this go smoothly. And I don't want to say that, I say that very broadly because we had a bit of a hiccup earlier on with the games. But again, thank you to those people who helped out as well with the teams, who volunteered. So Emma and Susie, a special thanks to you guys for stepping in, and Rinked as well, who does lots of the observing for us. So a big thank you to them. I think that's pretty much it. I'm not sure if there's anything else. I'm being told GK Ninja should have had a thank you as well, but that's because he does such a good job. Anyway, I'm going to stop saying thank you to lots of people. I think I've said pretty much everything. Sign up deadlines, 8th of January, if you haven't done that already. Making sure if you've got any games played, make sure that you have done by midnight this Friday. And I guess that's it. You won't be seeing any of our lovely faces till after Christmas. So from us, everybody, from everybody at British Esports, have a fantastic Christmas. Hope you enjoy it. Eat lots of tasty food and drink lots of non-alcoholic beverages. Lots of cake, lots of presents. Get yourself some new games. Hopefully Overwatch 2 next April. I don't know. We'll see. But until then, have a great time. New Year, Happy New Year. Take care.